a splash in their first big challenging match here at the Six Invitational. They take on DZ.
Oh, let's see. Maverick being banned to start things off. I love that. It's just gonna complicate the hard reaching on a map like Nighthaven Lab Switch. Does have a fair bit of hard destruction on pretty much every single bomb site to create an entry pathway. DarkZero banning off the Deimos. It is a phenomenal vertical operator with the beams and the flow that go from north to south, means you can really cut off a lot of bombs of verticality with an operator like the Deimos.
Yeah, very powerful operator. Tuberao ban. I like this. We've seen a huge amount of Tuberao. I'm going to be real, Nick. I wasn't expecting to see a lot of Tub these days. He really came into the meta massively when he was introduced, and then there was a series of nerfs that kind of changed the way that he interacted with electricity, and he very much fell out of favor. Now he's back with a vengeance, and it has made hard breaching an absolute nightmare.
It has. We've seen too many rounds, okay? Too many rounds where a Tuberao Kaid just completely blindsides a team here at SI25. And the thing is, when Maverick is open, you can always crush that operator to like deal with it. But when you see a Maverick ban,
You got to get rid of it.
you gotta get rid of the Tuberao Kaid.
That's right. The Goyo to round it off as well, a little bit of a surprise. That's a little bit more of a pocket pick. It was DarkZero that banned it. DarkZero banning the Mav and the Goyo, in this case Falcons banning out the Deimos and the Tuberao. We talked a little bit about these pocket bans, right, Nick?
Yeah.
A lot of teams tend to just go for like a big hitting operator. Very rarely do we see something like a Mute or a Goyo, a more niche operator ban. Like, it's not like that completely changes the landscape, but Goyo has a huge impact, and I think that seeing that ban is going to change how these late rounds play out massively.
Oh, for sure. I mean, also with flexibility in operators, right? When you see a Goyo being open, you're always going to think to yourself, Twitch seems pretty good right now, right? You can sap those Goyo canisters early, then buy the time later on. But you don't really want to bring out the Twitch unless you're dealing with mirror window or a Goyo canister. But that's where you got the Ash and stuff for the mirror here when it comes to Falcons. We saw DarkZero hiding two separate defending operators in prep phase, trying to avoid those drones. That was the Mirror and the Bandit. They're both hiding by the IT breach, trying to not show Falcons too many of their operators. But I think Falcons, despite not finding all five, have done a pretty good job here. Thatcher, Dokkaebi, Blackbeard, Ash, and the Ace. You can do kind of everything with this lineup. You're not going to have a ton of weaknesses. The only thing that might be missing is smoke grenades or like a bomb set execute operator like a Ying or a Grim or a Capital. But knowing Falcons, they're going to play for kills. If they can find those kills instead, that shouldn't matter.
Guards here is tempted to make something work. Brought out the Ash breaching round for a second as if he was to try and rush the Rafters position. Wouldn't recommend it. There's a mirror window holding it as well from inside of the site as we do finally see a breach go on out. This impact might actually juggle that. I think it did successfully destroy that Selma. Meanwhile, Guard is tempted to use his breaching round to destroy that mirror window. The head of Bolo spotted briefly, and we see Falcons start to encircle the site. Robbie, the Italian stallion, to be the first one in the building for Falcons as he peppers a few shots into the site, but doesn't find anything as of yet. DarkZero peeling back.
This is risky. Diffuser as well on the roof of Falcons. Robbie finds that first kill rather pretty early on against Bolo. A Sami off the board, that could be a very big deal here for Falcons. Mind you again, Diffuser on the roof. You gotta get somebody up there to pick it up or just play for 5 kills.
So where do we sit here? The DZ holding their positions. J-Lad on the Blackbeard. He enables the information. He baits out the peak. Guards finds one. Robbie, his second of the round. It's up to Kobe now. The newest addition, and he finds 2 nice headshots. Nafe joins the fray. Both low HP players here for DarkZero. As Hasham is on for a flank from the top of blue. Dovahkiin as well from the other side. These two Falcons players have to work together. There's the first for Hasham. Dove to find the final one. Falcons have flown into the server.
Really good use of space there as well because, you know, Falcons didn't know exactly what kind of info that DarkZero had, so they kind of just very slowly move forward. And when you get that first kill in the 2 versus 2, the distraction game, you peel back, your teammate jumps in, gets the second kill, not risking those 50-50 gunfights. That was a little bit too close for comfort though. It was a 5v2, heavily favoring Falcons, and then they gave up those free bodies. Mind you, when the round ended, Diffuser still on the roof. Not sure if that was intended or a mishap from Falcons, but either way, they did get those 5 kills. There's a great start to this first map for them because once they build momentum, that's when they're gonna get scary. In my notes, I was like, the one way I see Falcons falling flat is if DC gets like a 2-0, 3-0 start, and Falcons mental boom themselves out of it. So this is like best case scenario. They got momentum, they got the round, and they did it pretty effortlessly.
Yeah. It's great to see the confidence come through for Falcons. It's a very different beast playing up against DZ compared to PSG, their first match. Yeah, and you've got to have that confidence. And there's definitely like a subtle, subconscious level of confidence that you're going to have, knowing that you're playing against a much weaker team in PSG talent. I think Falcons just going to feel real confident, right?
Yeah.
And then you see, oh, we're playing against Bolo. We're playing against Nafe. NJR, one of the best players in the tournament so far. Suddenly that subconscious sets in, right? And Robbie's no longer got the confidence to find those entries. You're just hesitating a little bit more. Your mechanics maybe not as sharp as they need to be. So I'm really glad to see that we're seeing Falcons already in peak form, looking solid. Attacks at Nighthaven can be deadly, and they've already started this half looking solid.
Now it's onto the roam clear. I find this to be relatively tricky sometimes, especially with Deimos being banned and Falcons are not playing something like a Jackal or a Dokkaebi. They gotta do a great job now with the drones instead and sending a drone in with a gun in front of it, take map space and just work the map. DarkZero, they play a very classic, what I call like North American playstyle. They love this like 2 guys in the bomb site and 3 guys deep roaming elsewhere. In this case, it's only 1 person of NJR playing the site alone, as the Asami actually, with 4 other members spreading thin across the map, trying to see where they're attacking from. You're gonna kill a couple of drones, fall back, kill drones, fall back. DarkZero's game plan here, like to get all 5 players back to the bomb site within the next like 30-40 seconds.
A lot of mobility afforded to these DZ roamers. Bolo, for example, he's got so much versatility. He's got that shotgun secondary he can use to create vertical angles. If Falcons decide not to take control of the top floor, he'll be able to have an impact vertically down below. If he does jump down below, he can also always retreat upstairs, up the hatches, as he is Oryx.
And interestingly enough, Falcons have done a very limited top floor clear. It's actually DarkZero with control over the vert of the bomb site, of the breach, etc. So Falcons have cut the map in half, vertically speaking. They've not cleared like, most of the top floor. They've barely entered the first floor besides kitchen itself. And time is not taken away. DC are standing their ground upstairs.
Oh, what?
Wait, there's a site!
Dove! He's
Ow.
just dove into the site and found 2 kills. Ripped the rug out from underneath DarkZero. Bolo, he doesn't want to leave his position because he does have vertical angles all the way from down below. JLab with Diffuser, he just passes by Kobe, who's made his way down the stairs. Dove has found his 3rd on the round. He is the hero. He is the chosen one here for Falcons. DZ now with just Pamba and Bolo. They're still on the top floor. What is Bolo doing, bro? What are you doing on the top floor? He's just baiting him out. Pamba is toying with him, but the joke's on DZ. Falcons are in a winning position. Now Pamba uses his C4 to retreat back to site. Spotted, but he finds Hashom nonetheless. This would be a monumental clutch, but Dove says absolutely not. Serve him up. Come on. Give him the shot. JLad steals it. No ace today. But the Dragonborn has certainly risen above.
What's going on with DarkZero? You have 2 players on site, 3 people roaming, you have verticality, you know exactly what's clear, and yet there's a gap being created out of thin air by 1 silly RAM operator. That shouldn't be happening, especially if you're playing a team like DarkZero where they usually don't have those gaps with a bit tight formation.
Yeah, wow, that was
a timeout, by the way.
Yeah, a very early timeout. 0-2 down on their opponent's map pick. Now, look, DZ, we know that they're not perfect here on Nighthaven Labs. They were pushed really deep by Raza. They won it, but it was an 8-7, and then they lost it to BDS yesterday. So clearly there's been a target here from Falcons. They got a lot of VODs. They got a lot of material here on DZ. What's Kangaroo Ken even be saying to the team now? You've already mentioned he is instrumental to the success of this roster.
Yeah, and it's kind of low energy right now for DarkZero, and this is the thing. Historically, I know it's a different roster now without Canadian and such and without Mint, but they've always been a slow team to start in a best of 3 and a best of 5 situation. So seeing these first go rounds go the wrong way, not a huge surprise, but we gotta see them kind of find their footing within the next round or 2, especially given that that's a tactical timeout bird from Kenny. And in Bootleg, it was just a matter of guys like prep work, remember this or that, etc., because they just have some gaps in their gameplay. I wouldn't be too worried. It's also Falcons map pick if you really want to copium it up, you know. But it is worrying that Falcons are already finding these open engagements so effortlessly because that's when they're their strongest. They can play the 5v4, the 5v3, and I mean, you saw them. Once they got the first 2 picks, they didn't stop pushing that bomb side.
That's right. And it's one thing for Falcons to be up 2-0. It's another thing for the nature of how these rounds are going. There's 2 times now that we've seen a single Falcons player go for some form of a backstab and DZ be caught with their pants down.
Yeah.
In the first round, it was that late flank from, I think it was Dove who did it as well.
I think it might have been
from
Dove,
top
actually.
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a huge impact, and DZ had no idea there was presence on that side of the map. And then he did it again on the basement. DZ really need to get their affairs in order and quickly, because the more that this kind of unexpected playstyle keeps happening, the more DZ are caught unawares, the more tilting that's going to get. And that may well bleed into the second map.
It's also why, like, if this keeps becoming issues, I mean, they're playing Melusi right now and Kobe, but Melusi, Fenrir, Ella, all great operators, like, stop the entries from Falcons. I know Legion's a great operator, second shotgun, the T5 primary weapon, and it's great to deny, like, window vault-ins because you get stuck in the goo mine. But for doorways and entry, which is what Falcons do when they're finding their success, the goo mines don't typically do a whole lot. We'll see. We'll monitor it. Kobe is a Melusi. You get those 4 Banshees to slow things down, give you a sound cue. And Falcons, with that also, slow things down. They're playing Nomad, they're playing double Heart Breach, doing their 1-2-3s of Siege right now, getting the primary wall of IT, rotating over, getting the other wall across the bump side. I hear a C4 being pre-placed, but where is it?
Is it just above the doorway, I think? It
might
must be Panbers.
And then you play off the default cam, maybe?
I think it's been shot now as guards has... Oh no, he's gone around. Where is that C4? I'm not sure who we got on obs today. It might be
Surely
Nova
it's gone
again.
by now.
I think it was just above the door. Yeah, it is Nova today. If you find that, let us know, Nova. Otherwise, looks like Falcons have started to walk into some goo mines. Hasham does pull that out. Still, DZ playing very passively. Falcons have yet to make huge headway on the side.
Yeah, the big win condition right now for DC is going to be Bandit tricking that wall right next to Pember to his left right now. He's replaced both Bandit batteries, so if this snake goes south and finds them both, there'll be no way to trick the wall. There it is.
Too easy.
You can try and impact deny this, or impact grenade denied, but there's also a thermite worst case, so I feel like DC right now, they're giving up a lot of map space unnecessarily. Ooh. But a great shot from Bolo, finds one, I mean, dove off the board. You gotta get J-Light now, rotate over to thermite, and get that wall actually opened up.
Yeah, this is really nice here from DZ. Bolo's had a huge impact. The buck down below could certainly rattle DZ, but he himself has been forced back. The vertical holes working in favor of the defense, but out of nowhere, Falcons have found their picks. Kobe forcing himself back to site to try and support as these picks have come through. Oh. What are these over picks here from DZ? It's all up to Kobe now. He's got impacts to work with. He doesn't seemingly need it to deal with the Blackbeard. Robbie is low HP, and he's seemingly aware of this potential flank, but Hasham nails him straight between the eyes. Falcons dismiss DZ's tactical timeout and find their 3rd round on the trot.
And they even made it hard for themselves because J-Light, the thermite, was in the IT breach. He didn't feel like he had the time to rotate back towards where the A died and open up that wall properly. They brute forced that single door. That was it. They didn't even get the breach. And you said it yourself, DC, what are these overly aggressive swings? It's so uncharacteristic for them. They're challenging the same door before Falcons are walking on in, before the Banshees are activated, before the crossfires are established. Just taking 50-50 eco challenges. Falcons, you can say, they're a meta team and don't have the experience and they're not the best players in the world. But maybe strategically, DC is a better team. But in 1-to-1 gunplay, you cannot underestimate APAC or Falcons in this case.
Yeah, absolutely. DZ are known for a lot of these players having insane mechanics. I mean, Bolo, of course, infamous for it from the get-go. But Falcons are not just keeping pace. They're looking like the better mechanical team. And they're knowing when to go for these lurks, when to go for these backstabs. It's beautiful to watch. And it's certainly restructuring the story. What a turbulent group this has been, by the way.
Back and forth.
DZ taking down BDS. Raza showing up far better than anyone expected. Yeah. The only unfortunate one, I guess, is PSG, who have yet to make a splash.
But that's not a surprise either, right? Like, that's kind of like...
Oh, dude, that's a bit harsh coming from you,
no,
mate.
But,
Don't let them hear that.
Be honest, I mean...
Say that in Korean on the stream, I dare you.
Oh, I would never. If you saw my predictions that I made on the Ubisoft website for this event, yeah, PC doesn't make it out of this group.
You would have got fired if you showed your bosses that.
It is what it is. And right now, you're right. It just sets this big question mark on this group. What is actually going on? And I have my concerns for Falcons. They had a day off. Didn't play yesterday.
Oh, wait, what's this?
Wrong yellow ping. He's not in that corner, my friend. This is so risky.
What's going on, bro?
Hasham is ice cold, by the way. He's just tanking it.
There's 2 players hunting him down. How does Hasham find him? What on earth is going on? Hashom's got a feeling that these guys are hunting him down, and eventually they do. Fortunately for DZ, after a bit of an embarrassing exchange, they do find the numbers. As I say that, guards will finish off Kobe. What a mess. What a calamity.
We played 3 rounds of a scrim. Now we booted up rank for the rest of it. There's a TDM brawl on the primary floor right now, and I get it. Dokkaebi, Jackal, DC, they're fighting back, saying, hey, Bombshot's kind of weak right now. We gotta take the gunfight, but these 50-50s are so risky.
Trapped in the corner, Bolo finished off, nowhere to run. NJR and Pamba now in the 2v2. DZ trying to force the issue in the early round. They don't want to allow Falcons to go for a backstab, go for an execute, go for a map clear. DZ want to fight every inch of Nighthaven Labs. And it's left both of these teams bloodied.
I don't hate that choice, though. They tried the slow way, the right way. It didn't work out. They're down 0-3. Why did they try and match it? Gain that confidence back. NGR, the only guy on the server right now, kind of falling behind the curve, right? 0-3 to his name, playing Asami. He's anchoring with Asami, which is also a bit unusual. Falcons are at 2v2 right now. This can get difficult. Mirror windows, they have no smoke grenades, only 2 flashbangs in the pocket of guards. And they've split up. One by breach, one by exo stairs.
Flash goes out. NJR yet to find a kill. The best DZ player so far at Six Invitational. Yet still sitting on that donut. Guards to take down that mirror window. As Dove has made his way inside, and guards might be able to go for this plant. But he has to worry about the exo flank!
No.
What are you doing, NJR? Caught with the knife in hands! And Dove finds both of them! Take a stand, Falcons! You're absolutely destroying DarkZero!
The first gunfight, okay, whatever, I'll take it. But the second one? He's vaulting the box, can't even ADS back for the gunfight. It wasn't even fair. And yet, he wins. No need for the second player. Plant doesn't even go down, I don't think. There's no utility, there's no Dokkaebi because they had no Samba charge. The mirror window is still alive in front of him. And they keep a barrier that NGR, that DarkZero, the defending team put down, aided Falcons massively in holding that line. The worst part is, they could have just shot it, but they didn't. That's brutal.
Wow. Oh, it's dead silence from Nave and the DZ boys.
Not even Kenny's excited anymore. Yesterday he was jumping up around and saying, oh, let's go, boys, let's go.
We're
One round at a time.
We were talking about how much he was a supportive coach. And
So much.
Very much like different trains of thought, different schools of thought. And Kangaroo Kenny was very much of the, it's okay, guys. Like, we can come back. He was very, very encouraging, very commiserating. And it's just dead silence from DZ today. I think they know full well they're being embarrassed right now. Falcons are playing so well, so out of their mind. And DZ, maybe they got a little bit cockier after taking down the French Kings yesterday.
Yeah.
They're playing against a far lower rated team. Falcons right now are playing the best we've seen them in a hell of a long time.
They are, and they're changing their playstyle round by round, right? They tried to backstep, they tried direct takes, they tried to roam clear. Now they're doing what I call like the rat play. They gotta show him on the Nuke, and I think Nuke's pick rate is so low that it often kind of goes unnoticed by a lot of teams. You don't think about this being a possibility. Walk up this hallway, drone comes through. If any defenders check those default cams, they'll say, hey, it's clear, guys, don't worry about it. But Hashom is waiting. He's lurking downstairs. He knows that Nave is on this staircase. If Nave doesn't read this, walks the wrong way, he'll just die for nothing.
He's on cam now.
Waiting game. Oh, see, they check the cam is clear.
Yeah, but those cams won't see that knock. Hashom's gone down.
He's dead.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Pamba has gone for this flank. Well played from DZ. Early 2-player advantage. I wonder if there was information how Hashom did get spotted there by Pamba. Maybe just good face checking. Regardless, DZ have established themselves a really solid advantage. I mean, they surely can't lose it from here. If they do,
surely.
I mean, if they do lose it from here, that could well be the game. Like, you can't lose from this much of a winnable position. Pressure is now on DZ to hold firm in the 5v3. They don't need to overbake this. They don't need to overcomplicate it. They've got so much map control. Just try and trade things out. They've got a 2-player advantage. You really can't lose that.
I mean, it's great. You got Bolo in the basement with C4 for a plant denial. You got Nath on site with 2 toxic babes. You got Ella Mines, Mute Jammers, those stupid phone calls. They have everything that the recipe requires for success. All DC have to do is what they're known for. Hold on, play numbers, and don't lose discipline. And I like this. They're just holding their angles. They're playing the sound cues. They got the cancel barricades for cover. And when Falcons start peeling things apart one by one, that's when DC can make the decisions. Do we aggress forward? Do we fall backwards? For now, just hold on.
Moment of quiet now. Castle barricade spotted. Kobe finds Robbie. There's really nothing left for Falcons here. Wings clipped. DZ now look to finish this off with a bit of a whimper. No need to overcook this round. No need to go too crazy and hunt for kills. Just sit back and relax. Guards and JLad will go fishing and won't find anything. Pamba needs to be careful not to overpeak this. A little bit of an info peek. Kobe wants to swing on the back of it as well. JLad jumps on down. The Jordanian making his way into sight, taking out that bulletproof camera. Got a good gun for it. He actually might be able to potentially try and contest the plan. Is there information from below? There is the C4 and the spray from the SMG-11. Too easy to lock in the round for DZ. Finally on the board, but in a flawless fashion.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, there is some life. Let's go. That's good. They got that first final, or finally they got their first round, and I gotta say, opening kills could be the solution here. Falcons, when they get that first kill, they fire up, they keep going, DC they fall apart. This was the first time where DC got a significant, uncontested opening kill, 2 in fact, in that 5v3, and Falcons didn't have a clear, hey, plan B, let's do this, let's push over there. They were just fishing, hoping for DC to make a mistake somewhere, and they didn't. So I kind of want to see DarkZero play maybe a bit more sheltered roles, play behind utility, mirror windows, deployable shields, and just kind of try and play for the 5v5, either burn on time, or really try and play for that opening kill, and then relax.
There's one last round and a half here, Nick.
Yeah, 2-4 is the best you can do.
Yeah, 2-4 is the best, and it's not terrible. This is a funny map. I feel like Labs can sometimes be really defender-sided, like we saw at Six Invitational Grand Final last year, right?
Oh, boy.
And sometimes it can be really quite attacker-sided.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a resurgence from DZ in the second half. But Falcons here have a chance to do what very few teams are capable of, which is going 5-1 on their attack.
Yeah.
And that almost means GG for the map. GG go next for DZ, try and come back on border, which is possible, but yeah, focusing up on Labs here, I think Falcons have really done themselves a huge service with this early lead, and it doesn't take much to then finish this off. Pamba, I think, has just heard that early entrance. Was that the Buck rushing inside? I think it was.
Dokupi as well.
Hashom just around the corner.
Uh-oh, standoff.
Pamba knows this.
And Robbie's also getting active.
Oh, he's going to drop. The Blackbeard sees him. And the perfect timing there from Robbie. He's so happy about that. Kobe goes down early. And so does Pamba as well. Hashom eventually wins that stalemate upstairs. 2-player advantage. Very similar to what happened last round, Nick, but with roles reversed.
Yeah, and it seemed like Pambasu lost the game of patience because he pushed down that staircase. And I love that really execute by Kitchen, where Falcons have Blackbeard staring down a defender of Kobe, and then Robbie jumps behind him. It's a great 2 versus 1. Even if Kobe gets one of those 2 kills, he's not going to get the second. That's nearly impossible. The Falcons, they've done the best thing they could have possibly done to get that opening kill. DC now bleeding out in another round, and this looks very much to be a 5-1 half on the attack. And again, Falcons, they slow down. Guys, we got this round, don't throw it. Don't throw it. Don't risk anything. Drone everything, get the safe entries. Gala gets a third, that's Nave, Ninja, and Bolo against the world, 2v5.
Simple from here for Falcons.
That's one.
In theory, unless if Bolo can pull off a Bolo play, Dove goes down. He's been a bit quiet these last few rounds after a phenomenal start. Nades go out. The pressure has to come here from the Blackbeard. It needs to be guards to stand forward and try and locate these DZ players and put the pressure on. He doesn't need to play aggressively. NJR looking to get active. He's got the Vector in hands. Slow operator. He does find a head. It's all up to Bolo. Robbie finishes him off with the pistol. 5-1 half on the attack from Falcons. DZ are shaking in their boots.
What do you do now? You just gotta believe in it, right? You're down 1-5. It's fine, guys. We know the attacking strats, but this is also where I feel like this is where you want Troy to be in that roster. And I know this story, it's been spoken of to death, and like Troy was there for a long time. Nave came in. They got rid of Troy, so he's in Shopify Billions now as well. But like the leadership, when backs against the wall, things are looking tough. Do they have what it takes? I know they can go overtime. I know they can play very long, brutal series. but can they pull back their mental game in a 1-5 deficit on a map that, yeah, it's Falcons, but we know DC, they tend to love this map domestically.
Yeah, DZ, you need that leadership in the squad, right? Like, we've had huge changes to this team in the last 6 to 12 months. The face of that roster for the longest time, Canadian, of course, being dropped. Yeah, even Mint, who's been coaching this team since DZ first acquired that super old, I think they weren't called Flipside at the time. They were called Flipside originally. They went to SK. I can't remember what they were called just before they got acquired by DZ.
Yeah.
But he's been with them since the dawn of time, right?
Yes,
he was the longest remaining OG member of that squad, and he's gone. And now we've got Kangaroo Kenny, who's been great, but he's used his tactical timeout 2 rounds into the game. They were 0-2 down. They then lost the round following their tactical timeout. We need leadership in the server. We need one of these players to step up and say, guys, I'm going to be the one to tell you what to do, to get that energy back, to get some positivity and optimism back into this roster, because that's sorely what DZ needs right now. And when you replace the most experienced player in North America, in Canadian, with a rookie like Kobe, you don't have that. Now NJR, the top player so far at SI for DZ, is taken down, and DZ are on the ropes.
And a fuse left wall, thermite the right wall. One of them will go off, and you can thermite a second time around. The issue is because NJR died, you can't get... You don't trick this, surely. Oh boy, he might die for it. Doesn't even take damage, actually. Okay.
That's so ballsy.
So they lose both exothermic charges. NJR died to a jump out. That's all the summer charges. They have no heart breach.
Wow.
This is a disaster of a first attack run. I mean, okay, you got the can openers. That doesn't count to me as heart breach because like this is going to be a tiny hole in the wall. But that's all they're going to get. They can't get cross map. They have to go with Garage, IT breach, maybe go Aqua Stairs. Very not ideal for DarkZero. I like the Bolo's in an upper like Thermite where like he maybe be more of a leadership figure. He's very experienced. He's older these days. Or a father, by the way, very soon. Right after SI, I think.
Yeah.
So I like what Bolo can take this more of a leadership figure role, but we need players to also just step up mechanically. NTR is 2 and 6. That never happens. Kobe's finding himself more and more 6 and 5. That's okay. But there's no outliers saying, wow, this guy's popping off right now. Plus, strategically, Falcons are picking them apart. Got this 4v5 favoring Falcons. It's a minute to go. Toxic Babe's going out, and you see how aggressive they're being on these swings. They want to fight for map control still.
Swing from Nave. Oh,
no.
It doesn't land the shots needed. The aggression, though, eventually met. Dove goes down to Bolo, who finds his second. Maybe there is a glimmer of hope for DZ to stave off map point. But J-Lad, after juggling all the hard breach utility, he comes to life with the MP7. And him and guards now hold fast inside the A bomb site, succeeding B over to Pamba and Bolo. With the ability to retake still available. Pamba makes his way inside. Bolo's taking a hell of a lot of damage. Pamba spotted for a brief moment. The C4 is going to be the death of him. It's up to Bolo now in a 1v2. And Falcons are not going to give him an inch. They hold. They will continue holding. The first with the pistol. And now Bolo's got to finish him off. Guards and Bolo, 10 seconds to play. Information on site in abundance. The yellow ping, the nitro cell. But Bolo is going to have time to get that plant. And the C4 to miss. Now Bolo has the advantage. And in this post plant, he will fall back to connector. Guards, exactly his position is known. Bolo still holding on. This MPX doesn't deal a lot of damage, but it's one bullet away from killing Bolo. The pre-fires to come out from the American, but Guards continues pushing the info and the pistol kill!
You are so fucking good!
You all know his name! And he's gonna let it ring through the server! Bolo to clutch up 2 kills with the pistol and keep DZ's hopes alive!
When does Bolo play, James? Right now,
fucking
in
hell.
that round, to start things off on DarkZero's attack, that was a disaster from the very moment that round started. They had no heart breach, they had no smoke grenades. Why did that 2v2 look so goddamn difficult? Because they had 2 doorways to walk in, the C4 goes out, Bolo had 1 HP since the very beginning of that round. And yeah, 2 pistol kills. We saw in that 1v1, Guards was Jiggle peeking the door. Bolo had 9 bullets, 8, 7, down to his last. It missed. Has to pistol whip.
2 pistol kills, by the way.
Yep.
Both of them with that pistol. God damn it, Bolo. He's back again, and he's better. Like you said, he's 23 years old. He is one of the oldest players in the server right now. Falcons is actually the second youngest roster at the event after M80. We've got a 19-year-old on the roster as well for DZ and Kobe. Bolo and Nath, both the oldest players in the server at 23. This is a fairly young match, all things considered.
It actually is.
It's wild to think that Bolo, once upon a time, he was like the under-18 king, right?
He's literally 14, I think.
Yeah, and he was a god at the game.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, okay, who's going to pick him up when he finally hits of age? And then he won a bloody world championship with TSM.
Yeah.
Now he's back. He's hungry for more. Falcons were giving DZ a run for their money, and Bolo says, not today, son.
Oh, I love that. And I mean, that's the momentum swing that can happen and kind of start things getting to go in the right direction for DarkZero. Bolo goes from the Thermite duty to... I'm going to put the F2 on Twitch now, by the way. I'm feeling pretty good about this. But it does leave the supportive work on Pambasu now, kind of changing those operators around. Nave on Blackbeard led to like IGL and entry better inside the building. And I like this. I think it's going to give them more of a direction in this round. Good little mini entry there, looking for someone upstairs. There is someone right around the corner. I don't think DC know this just yet, so this could get very tricky very quickly if they don't join it out.
Hasham looks pretty clueless too, though. He's not moved for a long time, and the audio there from the Logic Bomb actually might expose his position. Hasham has still not been found out. Pamba's right around the corner, and as you said, he is the primary hard breach. He's about to start droning. Is there a Mozzie Pest on this door? Will Hasham remain undetected? No, he will be spotted, and he'll decide to fake falling back and then re-peek. Pamba needs to win this fight. He's got all of his utilities still in pocket, yet to have been used. Meanwhile, Nave's taking a hell of a lot of damage elsewhere.
Oh.
But Kobe goes down to J-Lad here on the stairs. Storage. Pressure from Nave as well, but he's taken a bunch of damage. And even with that shield in front of his face, he won't be safe. Another spray from J-Lad. And a goo mine to follow. Upstairs, eventually NJR goes down to guards. Pamba will trade, but it's not been nearly enough here for DZ. They're on the ropes again. They put some pressure on the side, but poor Pamba is now trapped here.
This is so messy. EC, not the usual structured ways that we see from the men Falcons. They're happy to match those gunfights. Look at this, the swing comes out.
No.
Injured Blackbeard.
All he needed was a bullet to the feet, and then Nafe went down. Bolo's been finished. Pamba, the last one remaining. The first of 4 found, the second. Perhaps a little bit more as the pistols come to life. But J-Lab with the shotty. Falcons on that point.
It's a simple game plan if you're Falcons. Figure out where DC they are in the map and start running in their direction with 2, 3, or as many as 4 guns. I love it. It's such a simple playstyle. And I gotta say, I think this is all on DC to problem solve this correctly. They're fighting that staircase on cargo stairs. Very, like, simplified. There's soft construction of 4. There's the hatch angle. They can do a lot more than just walking down, taking those gunfights, but they're trying to oversimplify it almost, or... I don't know. Just being happy to take gunfights that are extremely risky. Guards, send an in-game chat. Imagine we are BDS, you can come back. Why is Guards motivating DarkZero?
That is actually motivating though. That's not even like smack talk.
No, he says
That's
you can
crazy.
beat us.
Dude.
Pamba said, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm loving the energy. I can't believe Hasham is the quietest on the Falcons roster as
He's
well.
chilling. He's so chill.
He's a little demon, that guy.
He's just like, he plays Nook, and like when you play too much Nook, you become like, if I'm really, really quiet, nobody will know that I'm here. And you'll get something out of it.
I'm loving the energy we're seeing out of Falcons here. These guys have seriously shown us a new face of this roster. Of course, Montreal, we saw a flash of that, making it to top 8. But the conversation was then very much about Robbie because of how insane he was at that event, right? This is not a carry. This is not a single-player carry. Yeah, Dovahkiin's had some incredible rounds, but this is a well-rounded effort from Falcons. They are looking like the better team, as a team, than DZ.
Right now they are, and I gotta say, yeah, it's a best of 3, so things can change. But next up, if we gotta go there, which, I mean, we have to go there, actually, Border. You take this Falcons against this DC on Border. I don't see division. 1-for-1 trade. I guess that's fine for DarkZero because shutdowns really like Robbie. Losing just Nave, who's 2-8 on Blackbeard. That's good. They get map control, but can they now stabilize and find more?
The clash here was assisting a little bit of an aggressive play up the stairs, but Not to be for now. Falcons decide to cut their losses at a 1-for-1 trade with Robbie.
Thing is, I think this kitchen bomb site, it's terrible statistically speaking, but they got the clash, and I think that's a huge win condition. Sure, there's a lot of soft destruction here. You can play in the hallways, retake the staircases, only because you got the clash. But they're fighting Dove upstairs, actually. He's not falling back off his position just yet.
He's been droned. He doesn't actually have an ability to retreat. Is guards there with him on that clash? I think he might be playing together.
Oh, he's downstairs.
Oh, he's downstairs. The hatch is open, so there is an ability to retreat for Dove back towards the site. And should he go downstairs, he's got the clash to scout for information, so he knows he's not immediately dropping to his death. DZ focus up on the vertical aspect of the site. A lot of work still to be done.
Yeah, so DC, they're playing flashbangs on Bolo on the thermite, so no smoke grenades. And because Nave died on the blind, you also don't have the ability to get the diffuser into the site, I guess, in a safe manner. We're gonna pop the hatch. Got those EMPs in pocket of Pambusu, the last one spent. And this is where Falcons start feeling that pressure. The only safe player in the server on defense is going to be guards and Clash walking around. Everyone else, they have to be fearful of all the angles, the windows, the hatch tops, etc. The big question mark, Dove is still upstairs in servers. Is he going to go for a flank? Is he going to fall back? That's the big question that I have. We see Nave watching the flank drone in top floor electric, right where Dove is watching. So we know DC is prepared for a flank.
On side as well, Hashom was playing an aggressive position near the window. Pamba is tempted to try and peek it. Do they have information? This is such an off angle, but Pamba seemingly ready for it. Surya gate burned. Pamba will jump straight on inside and begin to plant here. This is going to be an impossible retake here for Falcons. They're going to have to win it before the plant goes down. Control above now taken by JLad. He's got very little ability to do anything else now. He could try and make a rotate outside and jump down the hatch, but he's going to be too slow. He will be detected, and there's just no way back into it for JLad. Piece by piece, DZ are working their way back into this map.
This entire round, though, so much more like old school DC. Didn't take a lot of fights. Only one against Robbie. Soft destruction, hard destruction, EMPs. Bomb goes in the bomb site window, and you stop planting. That's it. It's simple, it's clean, it works. But this is one of the weakest bomb sites across all the maps in pro play. It's like you're guaranteed to win on attack statistically.
Yeah. JLad is just going to wait this one out. W beta, says Kobe.
Okay.
Well, you do have to get back into it somehow. DZ may be starting to breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Come on, Kobe. Come on.
Bro, come on. Don't leave him hanging.
Please, man.
Don't leave him hanging.
It's getting embarrassing.
Bro. Dude, I thought he was going to do the prank.
He almost did. Good.
Oh, Falcons don't seem to be rattled yet. They are looking very happy, very confident still.
Yeah.
They still have a 3-round lead over DZ. 3 match points remain, or map points rather.
And I know they can just go through bomb set rotations. I mean, you lose the 4th bomb set option in priority. That's fine, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
You gamble it. The thing is, if it worked for Falcons, they get some good experience on it, and they can look like a strong bomb set for them against future opponents.
Yeah.
Now they go top floor. That doesn't work. You go basement. That doesn't work. You still have another attempt.
Still haven't even tried control room, by the way.
That is true.
So a lot of options here in the back pocket for Falcons. I sure hope they have a control room defense.
Surely you have one of them if you have kitchen.
Yeah, not many teams would be prioritizing kitchen over control room unless if they're really good at kitchen.
Is there a bomb site that we don't see played almost ever that you feel like deserves more recognition on any map? Because I have one that comes to mind immediately.
I was thinking Bar Club, but
exactly that.
I feel like it's not as good as it was once. I feel like people have figured it out.
I think of Berlin Major, Rogue Face. I'm just like, I love that bomb site so much. And no one has played it since, basically.
That was the grand final point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like max overtime or whatever, and like they go bar, and it's like the dumbest, craziest, most brutally ridiculous thing in the world.
And it worked.
Yeah.
That was Echo Diff, that entire event.
That was Echo Diff.
Deepak was nuts on that.
Deepak, my goat. Yeah, but kitchen is one of those. It can work. If it does, great for you, but you really don't expect it to. And DC, they're a formidable team. They know this map quite well. They are an S-tier organization, S-tier players. They can pick that apart. Great job there. Ash charge below. Selma goes out. Pre-fire to stop Jenna from tricking the wall, even attempting it, feeling too much under pressure. And because Kobe's on the Thatcher with the EMPs, Hashom couldn't kite claw trick it either. This is taking a lot of utility, time, and effort for DarkZero, but it's all worth it because for the first time, 5v5, all the walls are opened up this top 4 defense, and instead of playing Blackbeard on Nave, they got Munty, who's so much more difficult to kill in the server. So all of a sudden, DC, they have a good foundation to work off of.
And cast your mind back 3 rounds, Falcons denied pretty much all of the hard breach on this map and wasted a huge amount of utility and got a 2-player advantage. DZ only won it because of an unreal clutch from Bolo, which he's unlikely to be able to repeat. But you compare that to now, DZ are looking so much more comfortable. They've ticked off a lot of the hard breach boxes, and they've got that Monty, as you said, like just a phenomenal operator to brute force these positions, much more powerful than the Blackbeard.
All DC have left now, utility-wise, they have 1 Selma charge in the pocket of NJR. We see catwalk walls fully reinforced off as they've fallen back towards the, the bomb set itself. No extension now from Falcons. We see NJR rotating over, can pop that wall. If they, and when they do, that means every single wall will be opened up. But I spot a bandit with 2 bandit batteries. If he's ready for it, yep. So they don't get 3 out of 3 walls, but they have gotten 2 out of 2. IT breach and connect the wall. That's a good enough start to work with. And with the opening kill for DarkZero, they have numbers advantage. All they gotta do now is pick up, which attacker they go for. It's gonna be Aqua Stairs, will it be Catwalk Garage, for example, and just send a lot of bodies in that direction.
What's more, they also took down the smoke and the top fragger from Falcons. So when it comes to countering that Monty in the late round, you're relying on 1 remaining C4 that's now been taken down. Kobe and NJR find picks to reply now. Robbie and J-Lad have to stand their ground, and Robbie finds on with a Deagle. He's so low on HP, and J-Lad is feeling the pressure. Nave to ADS, and the gamble is rewarded. A 1v3 now for Robbie on low HP. The tied best player at the entirety of the Montreal Major now stands up against the might of DZ, and he can't get it done.
What he said?
I thought he said no.
No walls, round 1?
Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I don't know. I heard.
Oh, they got the walls. No, I don't know. Maybe that's not what he said. DC played
Maybe
much
he
more.
meant that they didn't breach the site wall, like,
Yeah.
internally,
But they played slow, they played strategic, they played a very stable round of Rainbow Six Siege, and that was the best round for DC on the attack so far. And that's what I want to see more out of them. Falcons called their tactical timeout because they said, hey, the gig is up, okay?
Yeah.
We've lost the last 3 out of 4 rounds. We gotta start winning this upcoming one. Falcons against PSG, while it was a very one-sided affair, and they were up like 5-1 or 6-1 on both maps, they were struggling to close out the series. Map 1 went like from 6-1 to 6-4 or 6-5. Map number 2 went to max overtime. Or the other way around, either or, but that was a max overtime round. Falcons, they can build the lead, they can't quite finish it.
Yeah, and this is really where Mad Skills as a coach is tested as well. There's been a lot of conversation since Eden was brought onto the roster, obviously coaching in Europe for the longest time. Let's go. And coming on to Falcons as an analyst, people have wondered, is that the perfect position for him? Mad Skills, formerly a player in the MENA region. Is Eden the one that should be staying behind the players, like happened at previous events? There's been a transition for Falcons into Mad Skills being that primary player behind the primary coach behind the players.
Language barrier, right?
Language barrier.
Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie does not speak Arabic. Falcons are coming in Arabic. Mad Skills is talking to the players in Arabic. Robbie himself as an Italian not picking that up. We've had quite a few cross-language teams now. In Korea, I forget the name
Mir?
of the... Mir Gaming, that's right. Yeah, with...
You actually had Jax who went to Firax.
He was trying to learn Korean, wasn't he?
He sent his resume, he spoke Korean, and then when he moved to Korea, or like the transition period started, he realized he needed a bit more help.
Right.
Because it's a hard language.
Yeah.
Didn't work out in the end, unfortunately, with visa issues and stuff, but they tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny time.
20 times.
Yeah, well, this is where Falcons are tested because they've had, how many, 3 match points now.
Yeah.
And they've fumbled all of them from a 6-1 lead. Surely this can't be a full reverse sweep. Bolo's got an early advantage. Robbie feels the need to force the issue.
This again, if you get that first pick, Falcons might feel a bit desperate. Now DC again, just hold right click on the mouse. Expect like this. Expect aggression. Expect a stupid swing. I really wanted another multi-round from Nave instead of Blackbeard. I just feel like he's been so unsuccessful in the operator. He gotta die, 6 lot of damage, and Blackbeard isn't as safe as Monty as an IGL, which Nave is. When you cannot get killed as a Monty, you have so much mental space to call the shots. J-Lad finds Bolo though, so that 1 kill's been traded back to an even numbers, and that's also the only heart breach from DarkZero. So this is kind of slipping away with that death.
Yeah, and this is an instrumental moment as well for Falcons as that basement bomb site tank assembly has finally been re-unlocked. It's the only defensive site they've won so far in the 5 rounds of defense that we have played for Falcons. 4 rounds of defense that we have played.
And Bolo didn't get the exterior walls on the site before he entered the building, so there is none of those walls opened up. This will be a less than ideal attack from DC, walking down a staircase, forcing exoplant maybe, something like that. I want to see them not just take this gunfight like last time and die, but again, divert pace off, Pemba finds J-Lad, and that's what I'm seeing DC. Get the flank drone set up, use the RAM effectively, try and get maybe one more pick, then go for a plant. Flank it might actually be the play after all, because you have a good gun on that shield operator.
Numbers advantage. Good drone work here from the Flores. Not really prioritizing the explosive aspect of the gadget, but more the information gathering. And it does clear that last little room next to the bomb site. Nave can drop and start to threaten a plant position here for DZ. Yeah. He's so close to being in position to go for a plant. A nade to go out. A gas is not going to affect him, and now he knows that the only player that can swing that is the smoke. The coverage from NJR. The plant going down. Now confirmed for Nafe. But Dovahkiin has found a pick, and Nafe has been taken extremely low as a result of a good spray from Dove. Kobe, though, to find Robbie finally, and Guards is forced to rotate upstairs. A Smoke Babe still in pocket, but not able to have an impact as of yet, as him and Dove try and get into it. Nice shot! But it's a 1v2 for Guards. Surely not a 4th match point fended off by DarkZero as they reposition, and this is nigh impossible for Guards as both of these players are together, and together they will stand. Another nice shot there for Kobe as DZ are making this comeback dream a reality.
They're finally looking more alive. Besides NTR. Everyone's celebrating, they're getting amped up, etc. And DC are problem-solving rounds that are much more difficult than before. Losing Bolo early, not having hard destruction. They had a solid plan B. So, like, vert destruction, find a kill or two, rotate to the hatch, Blackbeard drops down. It's a very, again, simple, clean round. And DC, they are actually problem-solving. It's happening in front of our very eyes. They had a slow start. They've gotten us to the max regulation rounds that we see. Now, if this goes overtime, then we gotta go map 2. The longer this goes on for, the better off DC will be. Because they are the kings of long series, of overtime matches. They love doing this. Not by choice, but they find themselves at almost every event in most of their series with at least one overtime map in a best of 3. It hasn't been any different this event so far.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw overtime on Chalet yesterday against BDS. We saw overtime against Raza on this very map, Nighthaven Labs.
Exactly.
They ended up winning 8-7 in their first play day. Now they're going up against another underdog team in Falcons. And I mean, Falcons looked so good. They made such a statement. 6-1 advantage, and now fumbling 4 opportunities to close this map out. DZ have stolen that momentum. They're looking like the better team now. Things have flipped, and Falcons are starting to rattle. Both teams having taken their tactical timeouts. There's nothing but the 10 players in the server to get this game done.
Look at the entire defender lineup. They have said, let's just flip the script. Mossy, Maestro, Echo, Solus, Valkyrie. This is insane amount of intel, counter intel, plant deny, time stalling, drone killing, drone hunting lineup, but there's no wall deny. They don't have smoke on the board anymore. We'll use ban from the operator ban phase. So while they're getting stronger in one aspect, they're also kind of missing out. That was risky.
Very risky.
Glass on the board, smoke goes up.
Oh no, but that's way too early. What are you doing? Exposed though to the glass, allows Hasham to be dispatched with Bolo forcing that plant down. Aggressive on the breach.
What?
Here comes the kill onto the glass.
No.
And the smoke no longer works in favor of DZ. Falcons have made this retake happen. And out of nowhere, they do put the final nail in the coffin. 5th time is the charm. As Falcons have taken an early lead in the series, stealing Nighthaven Labs from DZ.
What a disappointing finish to such a close map. It's a Thermite Nave, I'm so sorry, man, sprinting in before the smoke pops, and he dies way before the execute. Small things going the wrong way there for DC in the final round, but they were looking a lot more alive in the tail end of that than how they started off. That sets up greatly for a second map of order, because if you're asleep on that map, you're going to have no chance at winning it out.
Bit of an awkward finish to the map for DZ, but Falcons finally get the job done. Let's see how the story continues on Border after this break.
Tap, tap, yeah, I want that. No lines, I don't cut back. Sweet, salty, and all that. Let loose, come get that. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel it? Let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel that? Ooh, you feel that? Ooh, the real back. Ooh, I'm still that. Ooh, you catch that? Ooh, I guess that. The best back. Yeah, yeah. 30,000 up on my pallet. Might jump out if I'm wildin'. Catch my flow, I'm so stylish. Tap, tap, real smooth. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go.
There is a fine line between ambition and greatness. The only thing harder than getting to the top is staying there.
Nice shot by Nade. Army crawling his way. Turns the answers back, but Nade! Excuse me!
Handy. Nade.
Oh, shuts down his brother!
Into red time we go. Where's the response? The cup was through.
Have you ever noticed that nobody ever asks, when does Ashen play? That's because when SSG hit the stage, people generally know.
Second! And the counter disabled to win the round and has done very little since. Oh my goodness, Benjamaster with 2.
This is gonna stick for SSG, Daz.
It is, and look at the cover. Jane, I know it's not a bathroom. It's killed 4!
This is it. You look at both sides and you think there's somebody who's gonna step up, get slipping, finds himself a second, Daz. Make it a third. It's a 3K.
The king without a crown. BDS have conquered a continent.
Fire was the best Consulate that we've seen. Oh my, always is a target!
This can be made successfully.
Information from the bees! It goes deep, shotgun! And he swings on to Dodes! Vintage Breeding showing up, running out of time.
Round of the corner, bees, information. Shaiko pushing for it, Nafe is there!
This team has talent, experience, style, and a fish.
Reaps in the 1v1. Relocating towards Raptor. Reaps, what a swing and a quad. Disgusting quad.
He and Rhymes with Buck. They will get the flanked out leader. Again, taking another 1v1. He knows the plan is close and he gets the headshot kill.
When he'll move in, and it doesn't matter because never mind. Time, right? He's got to push forward. Reaps might be able to hop up before he gets there. Or sprinting up, he doesn't know! The 1v2!
Welcome back to the Six Invitational. Falcons have taken the first map off of DarkZero as Group C continues to boil. DZ had a few good moments, staving off 4 match points, but Falcons off to an early lead and able to close it with a counter rush.
Yeah, it did take a little bit of time, and for a second there, I started getting worried for Falcons because you can't close out a game against PSG. How are you going to close out a game against DarkZero? Well, they got it done. DC helped them a little bit with that final round going sideways, but yeah, I think this start to this map was a huge surprise to me how one-sided things were until this 5-1 round count. Bolo started clutching up, and then DC showed up afterwards. We gotta see DC come out hot on that from the beginning, otherwise I fear for this series.
DZ have a long way to go to guarantee themselves a spot in the playoffs. While they did beat BDS, they really suffer after losing to Raza in the opening play day. Today's match is so important as they only have one remaining match tomorrow against PSG. So the stakes are high. They need to at least get a map out of this game for that extra point, but going for all 3 points remaining up for grabs would be, pardon me, massive for DZ. Falcons, though, what a game that was from them. The 7-5 scoreline really doesn't reflect how dominant Falcons were in a lot of those rounds.
No, when we opened, I was like, should we say that, hey, hello, DarkZero fans, this was a 5-7 loss, or is this a 1-7 loss? Because, yes, it felt like a 1-7 loss. I think, look at the scores right now, no, like, massive outliers, no popped off in a couple of rounds, getting a multitude of kills. And then Nave from DarkZero as well as NGR, very slow starts. I mean, NGR was 0 and 4 before getting killed. Nave was playing Blackbeard almost every single attacker round, except for like a few multi cases. And they just weren't finding a lot of individual success.
That's right. Even though Pamba was technically the MVP, I feel like we didn't say his name nearly as much as we said players like
It was all on the last couple of rounds that he picked up kills on the Ram.
Yeah, very much so. Bolo did have a clutch, and he had a huge impact. Clutch. Yeah, massive clutch that was kept DZ in the game. But, of course, Falcons now winning their map pick 7-5 opens the gates to Border, where DZ will attempt to make their resurgence. They've had a little bit of a chance in the break between maps to talk with Kangaroo Kenny. We've talked so much about how there's been a leadership shift in this roster, with Canadian leaving a couple of months ago, and then, of course, with Mint taking a step back and allowing for Kangaroo Kenny to come in as coach. That is where he needs to have a big impact. Reset this roster and say, guys, GG, go next. Border is ours to take.
I'm going to have a lot of my brain power focus on Pamasu here in Border because on Night Even Labs defense, he got a total of like 3-4 time I think. Whenever I think of DC Border, thinking Pamasu unleashing a dog instead of Office, swinging the road to the east staircase, getting a bunch of kills, jumping out windows, and making these massive plays. We need this guy to start the party and get things going for DC on the defensive side at least.
A big conversation as well for this roster has been Kobe, who has had his fair share of good moments as well. I mean, yesterday overall against BDS, he had a reasonably middling performance, but on the first map of Labs, funnily enough, he was insane. He had 123 EPS. He was the highest rated player in the server, despite his team eventually losing to BDS. And he had a few good moments in that round as well, being the youngest player in the server today, being an up-and-coming rookie. There's a lot of weight on his shoulders, and he has been a real topic of conversation.
He has. And I mean, beautiful thing about best of threes, about having, 4 best of threes to play in phase 1, you can actually kind of fix your mistakes, right? You have a really bad first day, it's okay, you got tomorrow, you got a long season in front of you. Because if Kobe goes in, has a stink of a first match, and then you're out after the second or something like that, it's like, okay, have fun, good luck. I mean, going home.
Yeah.
But they're in it still. And Kobe has more time, not just today, but also tomorrow, to kind of say, hey, I am a legit player, I deserve a spot here, I am good enough. Because people will start saying, if you underperform, what's that about?
Yeah, I do think that pressure is on DZ for this match, though, after dropping the Raza game, winning against BDS. It's not the be-all, end-all, right? They've got to win here against Falcons, and then tomorrow when they play PSG, we're talking about a PSG that has everything to fight for.
Yeah.
They've been doing terribly so far, and if DZ, if their confidence is rattled after losing to Falcons, a team they no doubt would have expected to take down, then I can't imagine what will happen when they go and play against PSG. But of course, DZ, it's their map pick of Border. The stage has been set for a banging series, and already DZ's lead with you guys has started to slip. Falcons conjuring up a little bit of the social vote at home as we head closer to an even Stevens. Falcons 1-0 up in the series. Can it be a 2-0, or will DZ fight back as they did yesterday against BDS? Let's dig into it.
Arbiter Bands, what are you thinking? We saw some glass from DarkZero. Yigen's quite good on border. Valkyrie, Mira, Asami.
Asami's a huge
right
one
now.
for me for holding on to CCTV.
agree.
Do people still really do that? Okay, Deimos is a great one. Since Vert Nades got removed, like Deimos is the main way that you kill players in those hard positions from below. Buck is another one, but Deimos has just got such deadly power.
Blackbeard ban.
DZ getting rid of the BB. That's a bit of a surprise to me. They were the ones that use it all the time. If anything, though, banning it means they're going to use the
I
Monty
think
more.
they overruled Nave on this one. Said 4 against 1 Nave, you're off the Blackbeard. Play the Monty, my guy. It's not going to work. Valkyrie, there's the upper that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, I think Deimos makes sense if you're target banning it, but I always feel like Deimos is one of those, against bad Deimos players, it's completely whatever. Against a good Deimos player, oh no.
Good Deimos player is terrifying.
Yeah, they are.
That pistol can be deadly in the right hands. Mira, Azami, what are we looking at here? Another pocket pick like Goyo, I find unlikely.
Echo, actually.
That is a bit of a pocket pick.
Yeah, okay. It's funny because Echo before SI 25 had like 0% pick rate. Nobody played the operator. Nobody banned the operator. And already now on day 3, we've seen it banned in 2 separate games. When Unwanted played, I think it was yesterday, it was banned against them on 1 map as well.
Interesting.
And it's one of those, if you don't want to deal with Echo, you shouldn't have to. You can ban it out. And by both Echo and Valkyrie being removed from action, you have no reason really to play IQ. This will free up your operator selection on the attacking side. And Border is a map where you can do funky, blast, Ying, Blitz, Monty, bomb site rushes. And by not having to deal with like an IQ because of those cameras, you can afford to do more crazy funky stuff.
That's right. I wonder if we'll end up seeing more Maestro in the absence of the Valk and the Echo, just in terms of that plan style information. Yeah, Maestro's had a few buffs and really hasn't snuck into the meta as a reliable operator. It was present in the very last round of Labs, but is not here. We actually do have 2 bulletproof cameras on the table here and the Warden, which are the main repellents to that glass, which has now been picked off of. But Nath, as you said, overruled. He's made that Monty reappearance here on border.
Bolo on the Ash, take the back. If you have watched Bolo's YouTube content much throughout his career, every single border clip he had before joining DC, he always goes break room door, and he kills the guy in CC, vaults the half to the right, and kills the second player. I can name you like 7 different Bolo videos that happens. Quick entry for Panbasu in main door up the middle staircase looking for a kill.
This is very ambitious. Oh, but there's seemingly
know.
information. He's going to jump straight into side. J-Lad aware of it. How is there information there for Falcons? DZ had no idea. And now J-Lad is watching the ladder, hoping, praying that there's going to be a peek here. NJR, though, cautious of the position. A few bullets exchanged, but no damage dealt.
I like the energy from DC, though, with that aggressive play. It's risky, sure, didn't work off. Fair enough. But still, that they're going for it, that they're willing to take that risk. Now it's plan B time. That's Monty, Nave, East Staircase. Gotta go in, make the entryway, get that bit of information. Bolo on that door I spoke about. He's gonna get a kill, jump over and get another one right here. That's the half wall. Shotgun swing. That's so disrespectful, Robbie. What are you doing? It works out. Bolo on low HP. It's a Claymore now, though. Shouldn't be able to do that again.
Huge amount of damage dealt. Ooh, look at this. A flank from the bottom of the yellow stairs. A gas. And this Monty's going to take a ton of damage. Between the barbed wire and the gas, Nath is down to half HP. Robbie still being a little terror inside of break room as Bolo eventually puts him back in his place. Half the round done, DZ have equalized.
I don't think they opened the CC window yet because Robbie's walking around like that. And the reason why I'm saying it is border is a very long-angled kind of map situation. The more windows and doors you open, the more pressure upon the defenders. See it right here. I mean, Dove has like, okay, so Monty, I gotta run away, but there's nobody really fighting him. So it's a free run back. But a minute to go. DZ have just entered the building. Nave, Bolo, about half or less HP. They can still go for penalty because they got that Monty. There are 2 toxic babes. There's 1 C4 defenders. But outside of that, they're gonna be A-okay.
How's DZ planning to execute this, though? And look at this retake from below from Hasham. This can deny a lot of the default plan positions. Meanwhile, yeah, a flip of the switch. The back of Fountain reinforced does mean DZ have to force their way in through officers. They do find the pick required. So many of these players from DZ are on low HP. That's the big pick that was needed by Bolo and Kobe as well to join the fray. Up to Hasham now. Has he got the information needed? That's the diffuser down, and the smoke might make this nigh impossible. But unfortunately for him, DZ have managed to reposition into a safe plant position. There's no way to win this with plant denial now. And NJR on the hatch will finish off Hasham. DZ are back into it.
Really good bounce back after that early death from Pambasu, and it took time. But they had plenty of it.
What's going on
I
the
was
A
trying to
stream,
figure
bro?
Crazy.
Our games are almost synced if the rounds are ending at the exact same time.
Yeah, right. Gotta check now. I like that from DC again. It's stable, it's consistent. I say Bobby, I always call him Bobby. Robbie's swinging out so aggressive in CTTV, in break room. I get the aggression, I get the confidence. It worked so well 9 hit laps. You gotta take risk in this game. But you look back at hindsight and go, what happens if Robbie AFKs in break room and doesn't give DarkZero a way forward in the round? Because the second he died, there's a dominoes effect. They break the wall, they take CC, Dope has to fall back because his partner has died, and it's kind of built from there. Falcons, when they are in numbers advantage, when they do have map space, I think they should consider standing still more, holding angles, and letting DC walk into like, difficult to clear areas, than just taking those beautiful gunfights like we saw on 9 hit laps. Different map, borders more hard to defend.
And it can get very claustrophobic if you don't win those aggressive fights. Yeah. I liked what Falcons did at the start of their round. Didn't work out in their favor. DZ recomposed. They know when to change the pace and play a little bit slower, a little bit more punishing. How's it going to change this round? Talked a bunch about operator lineups for Falcons on the first map, right? Now we've got that Solus, we've got the Vigil, and the Mute. That's a lot of information denial.
You know, speaking of Lion as well, you know when you play Lion, you have that big drone in the sky?
Yep.
Yep. You can actually check if they play Lion by checking the skylight and office, and you can see out the little window slits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in my day when Lion first came out, you couldn't ban the operator. My coach Shaz, on every single Pro League map, figured out a way to see if they had Lion or not when the round started. You wouldn't do it today because like Lion isn't that prevalent and you're not going to bother checking every single round. But one of those fun, small, quirky things you can do in Siege that nobody really remembers or bothers with these days. Not that you should.
Oh, people get really into that.
There it
There's
is.
the skylight.
There's the skylight.
And there is the Lion ringing on out. This looks to be an Archives poised push.
I like that. We don't see this all that often, but it's highly effective. It is very nasty, long outside, all throughout Archives and Armory with that single Selma breach going off. Monty with the secondary EMPs, great combination of course. Falcons playing these very, you know, anti-drone operators, the Solus, the Vigil, the Mute. You're not gonna have necessarily the best guns for long-range combat, no ACOGs, all SMGs and whatnot. They gotta start taking some fights if they can. But as long as they've some Monty leading the charge.
Oh, that's
Wait,
awkward.
what? Okay.
So,
I didn't even see him.
from the window, his
Window swing, okay.
his gun barrel was covering the position. So yeah, that was a bit of an off position from JLad. Not a good spot to play. DZ has so many options now, especially with this Monty up.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got a breach on the Archives wall. Now they've got a breach on the Armory wall as well. There's nothing really in it here for Falcons. DZ just have such a good position. Guards finding NJR is something. The problem is the Monty is deep in the site, or in the top floor rather. And that does mean top floor control has been handily taken. And immediately another pick onto Robbie. Thought perhaps a late round bit of information onto that diffuser could have been garnered with the Solus, but not to be. DZ are looking in control.
Yeah, they are. And I love the Monty, how it's being utilized right now by Nave. I mean, again, he just walks in, he takes the space, guns behind him. Verticality being done right now, 25 seconds left. DC, yeah, we're a little bit low on time, but again, they have the Monty. They can always just go diffuser into the bomb site itself, and that's the hard part usually on border. They should be fine here. He can drop some intel, go for a plant. The cover has to be good.
That plant will have definitely been heard, but Kobe up above. He's on Overwatch.
Cover?
Pamba does take down Dove after the plant is denied. It has to be reattempted, and so Kobe will go for it. It's all up to Harsham now. Is he in position to try and deny this plant? It's all he's got to do, but the air jab covers off the position.
Yeah, I'm sure you're clutching that shit, Harsham. I'm sure you're clutching that shit.
Exactly what was needed from Kobe. He's fired up. He's got that plant. He covered himself with the air jab, and he's fired up in the server.
I love that. A good little air jab clutch. I was getting a little worried there. They were just sprinting through the bombs. I'm thinking, where's the cover, DarkZero? Not again, surely. I mean, if you get the trade again, they built early man advantage. Once he gets injured, they get a kill forward, and they just keep maintaining that lead. I don't see much reason to go off the Monty. Nave did, as I said it, but now it's going back to it. It's one of those, if it keeps working, why go off of it? We need to see Falcons make a conscious, active decision to say, okay, Monty's a problem. We can start playing like Lesion, LS, Smoke, C4's below, something of that liking. Even Maestro's pretty good to sap the Monty when he ever turns aggressive. But I don't know about this lineup. I don't think this is Monty specific. Maybe they don't believe that Monty's actually the problem. Is also possible. But DC will stop being out there with those flexible operators. Bolo gonna be sticking to glass here, it looks like. Saw that, what, twice? Oh, it's off it. Why bother? Why bother saying things like this? There was 5 seconds left, Bolo.
There was a bit of a tease there of an interesting lineup with the Amara and the Glaz, but no, it's more or less the same kind of thing that we've seen so far from DZ. The Dokubi's new, though. We haven't seen that so far, if I'm not wrong. That does allow for a little bit of, I guess, the nullification of the need for drones, especially on such a small map.
We saw it on laps, but we haven't seen it on border.
That's right, you pop the logic bomb, and it makes it easy to just get this information by face checking or ear checking, if you will.
So you know that they nerfed Dokubi?
They did.
They did. Do you feel like that was impactful or no? Because basically,
I haven't noticed, to be
but
honest.
it's like, so you don't get the first Dokubi call until 30 or 40, again, 30 or 40 seconds into the action round. So like in a few seconds right now, call will go through. Okay, it's 40 seconds in, I guess, or 50 seconds in. There it is.
There you
Okay,
go, 45.
45.
Yeah, I personally haven't really noticed it being much of an impact. I
I feel
think
like it's like, usually you're not in the building that early anyway.
first 45 seconds is usually getting to the building and starting to check what rooms are clear. You're probably
Right.
not activating that Dokubi call
Unless
yet.
you're rushing.
Yeah.
Well, outside of that, I feel like it's one of those. The nerf was great because it is a nerf, but it hasn't made the operator unplayable, like Solus.
But I like this. The Dokubi call
I like
and
this.
the E1D. Bolo to make his way forward. And Robbie goes down. Great job from DZ to force that player to drop down the hatch in CC and have Bolo there, the anvil to the rest of DZ's hammer.
Yeah, and look how they're doing it. They've been doing the same thing for 2 rounds now. Round 1 and 2, Monty goes in, that's the main push. This time, on the 3rd round, Monty goes in one spot, Bolo rushes another, and they apply that split pressure. They try with Panda in the opening round on the middle staircase, but that didn't really go anywhere. Didn't have Dokubi either, I don't believe. But this is a much better look. Nave now sees the mirror window. They just walk up, punch it, shatter it. These Lion scans are finding so many players.
Is he going to know there's a player
Oh, yeah.
behind? Yeah, he is indeed. Hasham wants to
Mira?
try and find something. Dove finds 2, and Hasham takes down Naif. A very ill-advised ADS move. Another kill perhaps for Hasham. No,
One.
Pamba finishes him off, but the rest of DZ have fallen. It's all up to Pamba now. J-Lad right around the corner from him. Just needs to land a bullet, and he does. First round on the board for Falcons on border.
I think Panda might have dropped out diffuser even. I didn't double triple check, but I think he says, you know what? I'm gonna send it, take the gunfight, look for the kill.
45 seconds to play, by the way.
Yeah, 40 seconds to play.
You were like covering it. I didn't want to shoot you. Fuck.
You know, that's fair. I don't want to team kill either when I play the game. It's, in hindsight, when you play that round back, I saw Nave being a little bit stressed there in his facial expression, like grabbing his head. He ADS asked the Monty to try and win a gunfight. The same second the Pammers got a kill, that was going to get him in trouble as Overkin was flanking him from behind. In hindsight, it's like, if Nave does an ADS with the kill, and just 2v1s the guy in Fountain with Monty plus Pambasu, that round is probably like guaranteed over, like for TC. But when Nave made the decision to get aggressive, he thought it was gonna be the end of all. If he doesn't go ADS, he's gonna die from the flank. If he does ADS, maybe he gets a kill. It just happened that right when that occurred, Pambasu saved the round. Oh, saved Nave at least.
Yeah.
only to get in trouble right after.
Very awkward. Yeah, Dove, I don't know how he just
finds
swings,
gaps, man.
Swings in office and finds 2. Definitely a turning point for the round there for Falcons. And they're into it. I thought maybe that this was going to be a bit of a runaway for DZ.
I feared so.
It looked like it in those first 2 rounds. That said, I mean, you can kind of write that one off from DZ. That was just a bunch of calamitous engagements that did not go their way. I don't think they need to overthink it too much.
No. Not at all. Also, if you're Falcons, Border has always been attacker favored, and it doesn't have to be every single map, every best of 3, every scenario, but more often than not, it will be easy to attack on this map, the nature of how it plays out, the meta, the Lancer side, the bomb sides, etc. Emersu is downstairs as a sledge. And
Love sledge, by the way.
You can sledge the ceiling on 2 separate spots because you're on the table, you just plonk in the ceiling. But look at this, Nathan's dead inside. I heard a C4 rip, nothing happened.
Oh, awkward.
Wait, it's gone? What happened to the shield?
I think, yeah, I'm not sure how it got destroyed, but it did somehow. There's the second C4, and the Nitro does claim a kill. No more remaining, but it doesn't seemingly matter. A lot of that util expended. This attempted rush has fallen flat. NJR's at least found a pick, but this round is a long way from being a done deal for DZ. I don't know why Robbie is still peeking that. Unnecessary. And it's going to be a hop breach from Bolo. He's straight into sandwich, into lockers, and he's looking for a little something in the middle of the site. Somehow Dovahkiin's headset's been turned off, or for some reason he hasn't heard that Bolo's repelled in right behind him. Gets out the stim pistol just to see Bolo running away with that diffuser.
They're going to think it's clear now, though. They're not going to expect this.
What is happening? Dove needs to get his ears checked, because that's 2 separate occasions. He hasn't heard what's been going on. A spray through the wall.
What?
Hashom's 1-2 fights that he had no right winning. And now it's all up to Kobe. He finds the first. A bullet straight between the eyes. Diffuser back in pocket. Up to guards now. No C4 to work with. He doesn't have information on where Kobe is. Plant going down. Faked again. Guards doesn't want to overpeak this. Beautiful spray. And they're fired up again as this game is tied.
What happened that round? From the very beginning, Nate walks in, Oshio goes down, and it just disappears on my screen. Like, maybe the C4 was like right on the edge or whatever. I don't know. I didn't see what happened to it.
I thought the C4 got EMP'd.
That's what I thought too, because I didn't see an explosion, but the shield collapsed.
Yeah,
so unless the massive weight of the C4 that landed on the shield broke it, I don't know.
The shield decided to ult M4.
Yeah. And then second shield goes down, C4 kills him, Nave that is, and then has shown swing these ridiculous gunfights.
2 kills through that tiny crack in the wall, by the way.
Dove in Armory right next to Bolo the entire time. Doesn't hear anything.
How is it that Dovahkiin looks like the best player in the game on Nighthaven every now and then, and then he just looks like that sometimes? Like, kind of botted out, not gonna lie.
And then I'm thinking, okay, Dove through the round, great. DC wins it. Guess what? Somehow Falcons to win regardless. It's one of those rounds where things just don't make a lot of sense, and I'm there for it. Porter has to be chaotic. It's the best version of itself when it happens to be that way. Same with Coastline back in the day when that was in pro play. It has to get funky.
How good is it that we have real diversity in our map pool, though? Like, I want to have maps like Clubhouse where it's really hard breach-centric. Yeah. I want to have maps like Border where it's a frag fest.
For sure.
Like, I want that variety in our map pool. If everything is the same, it's going to get old real quick.
Imagine you had 5 borders, like 5 like TDM. Panba. Bail out on the main stairs.
Where was that from? Where?
I think it was just like when you shoot this default cam. Yeah. We can prone bottom middle stairs, look through the barricade kind of thing.
I can't see his body person.
Oh, you can all see.
Did he try and go inside?
Oh, he went in actually. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't realize that either.
How did he get in? Did he?
He sledged the soft wall in GL.
Okay, sledged detention and then straight in to passport.
Okay, I thought it was main door spawn because it happens all the time, but alas.
Well, here's a good drone. I don't know how Nafe's gotten away with this one.
I like that Nave is watching it despite Pamba's being dead. It's like, I don't trust Pamba to do this job, you know? I watch the cam, I call
Pamba's watching the customs drone. You gotta give him a little bit of credit.
Oh, he is, he is.
It is a good bit of information, especially as the bomb site is downstairs. So customs is one of the main thoroughfares.
Yeah, as you guys see here.
He's enabling Bolo as well.
Hey, Bolo is clear. Take it. It's cool.
They got armory cam, they got a customs cam, and they've got a lobby waiting room cam as well. That's a ton of information for Bolo to enter this ground floor while the rest of the team starts to put pressure on the top.
That's the thing. I don't really see the pressure upstairs. So far, every single attacker's on the primary floor.
What?
He fell off the roof.
Dude, that's awkward.
Yeah, I think he fell off the roof.
No Finker on the board for the remote res as well. Nate's found a pick on the J-Lad. Don't keep ADSing, bro. This is hugely risky, but Hashom's taken a hell of a lot of damage. Goes for another one!
The flick.
Nafe wins the fight somehow anyway. 3v3 as Kobe's been picked up. Time to redeem himself now on low HP.
Did you see the cheeky, like, the flick upstairs or flick up to the ceiling?
No, I
It's
didn't.
to cover the shield angle headshot thing. It's super funky. I see some Blackbeard players do it as well. Sometimes it works. In that case, it did. But the fact is, with Kobe getting injured that early on, took a lot of time away from Bolo, had to sprint out of the building, revive him, that's in a Guman, getting shot, getting chased down by Robbie. Robbie doesn't
What is
stop.
going
He
on,
wants
bro?
to kill.
Robbie
They're planting.
is gone for it with the ITA.
Wait, the distraction, this might work.
Diffuser is going down.
They don't
Is there
know.
information? There aren't enough holes in the floor. Damage taken from out in office. And now Falcons know where these last two remaining players are. Nafe, though, he is going to have that Monty shield, but he goes down. The pressure mounts on Kobe. And Falcons have taken the lead on border. DZ, once again, the life slipping out of their lives.
It's so close. The last 3 rounds, 1v1, 1v1, and now 2v3. If one gunfight changes, goes in a different direction, DC, they would have stolen this like 5-0. And yet they find themselves now playing from behind on the attack inside. I don't think they're doing any massive blunders or they're misplaying. Okay, falling off the roof could be a blunder.
Okay, yeah,
we can
that
go
was
that
not
far.
great.
And the issue isn't so much that Kobe falls off the roof, is that somebody has to go and retrieve him, or you say, too bad, just lay there for a bit and just like bleed out. Bolo spends like 25 seconds giving up customs, running over, reviving, just to die shortly after as well. And you see players like Robbie, maybe this is like a stylistic change, right? You talked about it earlier. With mad skills being behind the players and coaching them in Arabic instead of in English like before, it feels a bit more to me that Robbie is like a +1.
Yeah.
He is always
Left to
playing
his own
alone
devices.
completely. And he's playing this overly aggressive role, kind of like Joystick back in the day, where he was Empire VP. They had a 4+1 strat. They had 4 people working together, and they had Joystick who do whatever he wanted to do. Shanko back in PDS stage before they had Breedy and like this really solid roster, also similar story. It feels like Robbie's just go do your own thing, go hunt for kills. If you get them, great. If not, we're fine. And it has been working out. Robbie right now on border sitting 2 and 4. Not amazing statistically, but he has been finding some valuable kills like Bolo in that previous round.
So last round of the half, DZ really need to even this up here. They've switched off of that Monty for the first time, electing for the slightly more aggressive and more risky blitz. And I'm not sure if this is going to be the magic ingredient to try and bring things back for DZ. I'm not going to be too optimistic about that.
We've seen the Monty, we've seen the Oset, we've seen the Blackbeard. Nave, 4 out of... He played Fuse as well.
He did.
He did. He's played
He's played.
every single shield operator with this split pick. And I mean, I get the vision. You have good gunners. You want to IGL, feel safer, get the entries going as well on your own behalf. But the only issue is on border, when you're playing a shield operator, you can't typically ADS. So you're not really a gun at all. You're just a shield that is hard to get rid of. So we gotta see the other players of DC step up now and find these kills.
He's about to spot the blitz. There's the shield. A lot of damage done onto Nafe. Really feeling that pressure now. Flash out from Bolo. He wants to try and march on forward, but there's not enough space, not enough information. NJR to take one down, traded back again. And these reinforcements are going to, fortunately for Pambo, restrict his mobility as well. A smoke grenade. Oh, Nafe needs to not stand on those stairs. The elevation will mean surely he will die. Robbie again putting pressure on DZ by peppering bullets left, right, and center as Nafe begins to make his way upstairs to hunt him down.
This is where you feel the bug nerf. He lost the hard-breach canister, so you can't do self-destruction and hard destruction on one single up. And this is turned into a bit of a clown fiesta. All of DC spread thin, all of Falcons as well. Gonna be 50-50, 1v1 gunfights across most of this map so far. Falcons still got presence on these stairs, playing side, playing bathroom. DC don't know this necessarily, but
going on?
Kobe's been on that window the entire round. Finally finds a pick, give DarkZero a man advantage.
It was a game of cat and mouse upstairs with Robbie finding picks and eventually traded. And now we're sitting in this space where DZ are just waiting for something to happen. And Kobe, his patience rewarded, as you said. Hasham and Dovahkiin now. Eventually, Dove is spotted up in office. He has the ability to drop downstairs. He doesn't want to do so too early. It's up to DZ to decide where they're going to push.
We know, though, he finds scabs, he finds kills. Kobe goes down, seeing that out of nowhere. Didn't have information. They assumed it was clear. They drop down the hatch. They're going to look for the side player.
It's going to be a free kill for Hasham. He spots Pamba. Finds the first one. Bolo can't refrag. Team Falcons. They close their defensive half 4-2 and are edging towards a victory here in the series.
So many things right now that I think Falcons doing so well, and so much of it relies on a single player. It's Dove. He's playing Castle. He played Office the entire round. Then he finally falls back, takes down Kobe. And because of that Office pressure, we never saw Pamasu of Bach walk into vertical destruction to bathroom. And because there's no bathroom verticality, Hasham can stick in the bathroom stall and just get those 2 kills. So there's these small things that Falcons are doing really well that are punishing DarkZero. And Kobe walking in, expecting these stairs to be clear. I mean, why wouldn't it be? Why would there be a gap stairs still? You have 2 attackers right next to him. But the lack of intel on the drone game from DarkZero, likely because they're hoping to use Nave on the shields instead of actual drone work, it's punished them. They're down 2 and 4. They gotta step it up. They had a slow start, not even laps. On Bolo, they start off with 2-round victories. Now they've lost 4 in a row.
That's it. Terrifying kind of events for DZ now. It looked like they were just going to run away with Border. Falcons have made this map their own, and now they themselves switch onto the attacking side. This is where they can build up that momentum. This is where, in theory, Falcons should be feeling so much confidence. DZ are under pressure.
Under pressure.
I love me some Freddy.
Right?
Nothing like
Pushing
Freddy
down on
and
me,
David.
pushing down on you. What do you think is the most pressured player on the server right now, if that's the case? Who is the guy who's feeling it?
Oh, it's got to be Kobe.
I think it's Kobe, yeah, the individuals.
In terms of individuals, I feel like Kobe's got to be feeling it.
Okay. I'm going to go with Nath.
You're going to go with Nave.
I think he's very hard on himself, and I feel like he is going to blame himself on the shortcomings of some of these rounds, even if it isn't his fault specifically, and things just don't go your way. And I think, looking at DarkZero, like, if I was the IGL, if I was Nave, I would try and take as much blame upon myself to free up Kobe, Bolo, MJR, Panda to do their things. So guys, this round's on me, don't worry about it, follow on the next one. I'll focus on the next one.
That's what a good leader does. Allows the weight to be shifted onto themselves instead of the rest of the team. Nath no longer can hide behind a shield for the rest of this game, unless he's going to pick the clash, but wouldn't recommend it. He's on that mirror now. He can hide behind a mirror window instead.
Classic Bolo.
Yeah, this is an awkward spot for Bolo to be playing as the smoke. SMG-11, here comes the Grimm's Bees, spots out his position. The Dokkaebi call rings on out. J-Lad the first to fall, but a good trade comes through so swiftly. From the top of the east stairs, Robbie's taken this control. R4C in hand. He looks for more.
What did I say? DarkZero border, what I think of? Pamasu on that rotate getting kills. He got one. Not a ton, but it's something. This main staircase should be a freebie. Kobe gets it. Hasham in the grave. No more Dokkaebi. Can't hack the cameras. Falcons, much like outside stock. Can't quite get inside the building right now.
Good usage of that Azama keep a barrier to try and lock up that position in the 90 hallway after it was breached by the Selma from Dove. Robbie's made his way into office now. But this is a real standstill. Falcons have not managed to find control of CCTV. Still that pressure from Bolo and Kobe holding onto the position. 50 seconds to play. DZ are sitting pretty.
I like this. They're just waiting. Now they got good position. Security, Fountain, one guy on each bomb site. No gaps being left open. C4 found Robbie. Dove guards, an ace and a grim. What can you get done? No utility, no hard destruction, just pure raw gunfights.
Bolo doesn't need to move, doesn't need to expose himself at all. There are 2 players watching his position. He's spotted for a brief moment. Eventually he goes down, but not out. Almost a shot there onto NJR in sight as Kobe is also spotted. 18 seconds remain. And DZ have pulled back. They're not taking any chances as C4 pre-ripped by Nath. Kobe to try and bait out these positions. He spots one, finds him, but the C4 from Nath to close. Bit of life back into DZ as they find their first defense.
There it is. Few around. Well played. Great start for them. Comes down to, I think, just opening gunfights. If you take away 1 or 2 players of Falcons that can attack from everywhere all at once, slow down their momentum in the individual rounds, that could be the way to win. The Falcons, despite losing that round, still big smiles on their face. I mean, they feel very much in control, I think, and I don't think they feel too bad about Border being picked by DarkZero.
No, not at all. Be up 4-2 at the half, even losing the first attack round on their opponent's map pick. I don't think they can kick themselves too much at all. DZ just need to slowly but surely, 1 round at a time, build up this momentum. Down to Tellers now. I like the Oryx pick here from Nate. He is really let off the leash now. No longer tethered to a shield, no longer tethered to a mirror window. Is he going to have the confidence to be able to play the loose roam that's needed on this bomb site?
It's funny because whenever you think of like a Munty or a Blitz, you think Oryx counters those operators so easily, man.
Yeah, easier said than done.
Yeah, exactly. It is one of those. Now, Oryx is kind of useless. That's kind of what they think.
I was looking at your face and like the cogs were wearing. You're like, how can I say this nicely? Kind of useless. He got buffed recently, actually.
He did.
Very minorly.
And I tried it out and I was like, what's the difference? That's how I felt. Like he basically recovers faster when charging a player or a wall, I believe.
Yeah.
Like the ADS speed is reduced, so it's faster. But if you're gonna Oryx dash someone, you're gonna die regardless of how fast it is, I think, at least right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Oryx is nice. You can make a lot of rotates very quickly. Secondary shotgun, the T5 is a great weapon, and Pemesto's already got Legion, so if you're on the T5, you gotta go Oryx. In case a shield gets brought forward, of course, there's some counterability in that scenario.
I think the real use case on Border is to jump up hatches and retake the top floor.
Yeah, it's true. You can hook up a hat. It happens sometimes. Okay.
At least the threat of it. This is beautiful. Kobe, you gotta move, dude. He was worried about dying to the player pushing out the hallway. Ironically, despite the keeper barrier, he dies anyway. A little bit of levitation happening from Robbie, but Bolo's not a fan of his rich craft and will take him down. Numbers even again.
Standoff once more. 1 fire spin by guards, 1 more in pocket, and you know, push out 1 more DC player from their safe corners. They love to play break room, they love to play security, and we saw last time, DC aren't going to fall back from these power positions unless you force them out of the spot. Falcons haven't done a whole lot so far in the trying to do that. They have a grenade, they have 1 more fire. The CC window hasn't even been opened up just yet, so curious what their plan is. They're leaving Bolo alone right now, the looks of it. As I say that, Bolo just swings him.
He will die. Hasham in position, spraying down Nave, and he will fall back as a result. 3 left on the defensive side, and this is a nice position now from the Ace, who's gotten deep all the way into Customs. I think it's him who's just found a pick. Good trade, though, from NJR. A minute left. And NJR still has this position to hold any entrance from Customs, but also the mirror window looking towards Vence as he holds onto the site.
Another very close round, down to a 2v2. But this time around, so much utility. Fire, smoke, soft breaches, EMPs. Falcons have so many different tools to deal with this. The only thing that might be hard to conquer that mirror window. But verticality, in the name of the game. You gotta drop in front of it instead, punch it out. 50-50 gunfight. Both members of DC are so spread apart. 1 by side, 1 going for the flank.
Oh,
the wall bang!
Nafe has been worth his weight in gold in that position, making this a 2v1. Now Dove, he's so far from the side. He has the diffuser, but he's got a long way to go to get into a position to plant it, and he's got to deal with Nafe first, who continues to play aggressively. Nafe goes down, up to NJR now to clutch, but there's no time for Dove to get into sight. The spray down, but nothing else needed from NJR.
Nice! Come on!
Damn, I heard that fist bump slap.
That was crisp.
You gotta be careful, Kenny.
Ooh, look at the spins. The mouse spins from NJR.
You know,
Dude's got it.
Bolo started that. Ninja thinks he's so cool, but he didn't start it.
Oh,
See,
Bolo's doing it now.
Bolo's clean with it,
He's so crisp.
And he's like, they should have Bolo closer to the camera at the end of the table, because then you could see it in of all its glory. Now you see his pretty face, not the pretty flicks.
Yeah, damn. What we really care about is the flicks, the guy's mechanics.
So you know, there's all these sayings in esports, right? Like the wife buff. Like you get a wife, you get like a buff in game, right? So Bolo's in a very interesting spot in his career by my means, okay?
Yeah.
He's about to become a father.
Yeah.
So right now for this event, he's got the about to become a daddy buff.
But that's different to the dad buff.
The dad buff is a dad nerf because you get no sleep, so much stress. It's a big change in your life. Right now, you're fighting for the future. I think he's having a daughter, if I recall correctly.
I think
you're
so.
fighting for the tuition money. You're fighting for the college degree. You're fighting for the food on the table, right?
Yeah, because Bolo's really strapped for cash.
I mean, probably not. But more is more, baby. So this is peak Bolo before he's gonna show up with like the darkest circles below his eyes. But, oh, sorry guys, I had 2 hours sleep last night. And then like 2 years from now, he's back in his prime.
Yeah, well, I know when Xenox, one of our fellow casters, when he had a baby, it was actually kind of perfect that he was already on gamer hours from being a bit of an esports degen, because his wife could be on like the normal hours shift and then he would do all the night shift.
Okay.
And it actually worked really well for them. So I don't know, maybe that'll help out Bolo as well.
It's weird though, right? Like I've known about Bolo since he was accused of being this like 14-year-old cheater and PC ranked, floor banging people left, right, and center.
The accusations because he was just so damn good.
Exactly. And then
Bolo.
I played against him at the Raleigh Major back on G2. I cast him winning SI. I cast him against Empire winning SI. Then we saw him retire. Then he came back as a player for DarkZero. And now he announced that he's becoming a father. And like we've been there for all of that since he was a tiny boy.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Amazing.
Then you got Canadian, who's the same guy as 10 years ago. He's just playing the game, yelling at the monitor, and popping off every now and again. He was on fire yesterday.
Yeah, he was. He had a great interview as well.
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
Oh, there's a great quote. I'll have to show you later. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I'm not going to try and butcher it. You just have to watch it.
Okay, no, I have
It's on Twitter.
I just saw after they won, he was like screaming at the camera and the whole
he was
thing.
so into it because the other team was smack talking him, and he had a few choice words to say in response. So we were into a tech pause. Now we're into a tactical timeout for Falcons, by the way.
We haven't forgotten you guys.
It's 4-4 at the moment. The scoreline, Falcons have let their lead slip just a little bit, but yeah, there's still a ways to go.
This was Falcons tactical timeout, correct?
Yes, that's right. I did have a question though about we're
Yes.
talking about parents in an esports league.
Okay.
So has any parent ever won SI? I don't think they have. So like, because we've got a few parents in the game now, like players who are dads or mums, but
We might not
because we've got like Leon's got a kid. Leon Gids has a kid. Nesk has 2 kids, I believe.
I think it's pregnant with the second.
Oh, okay.
I
Second
think.
one on the way.
Yeah.
Bolo about to be a dad, but I don't think any of the champions
It's a very
have won
interesting point.
while having a child. Like, for example, the former W7M current Furia roster. I don't believe any of them.
G2 didn't. CTM didn't. TSM didn't. Might be
NIP?
right. Not that I know of.
I'm pretty sure. Not
That was a
that,
long
not that
time
they know
ago.
of.
Not that. Whoa. I think that's a really cool stat though, but I think you might be onto something here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, are there any contenders potentially for this year that could be
Nesk?
dad
Nesk.
champions?
Come on.
That would be insane. That would be insane.
So,
Imagine
you know,
Nesk is the first dad
thing,
champion.
The worst thing about Liquid winning SI is that it gives all the reason for Nesk to retire.
Yeah,
It's like,
true.
It's like he's fighting for that title and he's still just staying strong until he gets there.
Can you imagine him not retiring if he wins this SI?
That would be dank.
I feel like he would surely, I don't know, stay a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Hopefully win something in Brazil.
I think
that would be the dream, right? Win a championship
knowing
in
that
Brazil.
you've succeeded and you've done it might be very relieving for him because he's been chasing that high forever.
Yeah.
So I could see that.
I wonder if we see a player like Nesk, who's been gunning for it for ages, win an invitational, and then he just suddenly gets unlocked into like the I don't care anymore demon.
Taking it back in time. Here we're kind of back into what we've seen before, but from the opposite team of DarkZero. The Monty into E stairs, leading the way forward. I like the Falcons are playing around the Monty here. The floor is shown for utility clear. Of course, Togepi and Hard Destruction right behind him. They want to go for an office take by the looks of it. There's going to be some mirror windows, castle barricades in their path. And there goes the castle and the mirror window. Great stuff in utility clear from Falcons.
Good control, great usage of those Roteros to clear out these castles. But still, the setup is in abundance here for DZ. Those mirrors being slowly dismantled, the castle barricades the same. And for what I believe is the first time we're seeing Falcons bring that Montaigne.
Ooh, still not
Didn't get
Managed
it.
to dismantle that bandit battery, and no breach on this wall as of yet. 2 Selmas in pocket, but how are they going to actually enable that breach? They're going to go for the side wall instead.
I feel like Kobe could have definitely tricked that. Bend the battery in pocket, was ready to be safe. Regardless, 60 seconds, falling back down is not a bad idea. C falls downstairs, has shown finds NJR, mirror off the board, and just like that, out of nowhere, Falcons are in the lead in this round.
Yeah, but can they take the lead in the map? Guards is repositioning now over to Armory side. An exchange elsewhere leaves DarkZero worse for wear. Falcons now encroaching on this position up above. Nath can't stand alone. Kobe and Bolo downstairs. Dove has made it a 4v1 now for Falcons as the newest player on DarkZero does his best to weather the storm. Doubling back now after his first kill, looking for a second. MP7 in hand, and Doverkin finishes him off. Falcons just 2 rounds away from putting DZ down.
Oh, and this is the thing, like, we see Falcons playing so close together. 2-3 guns, DarkZero, it's 5 individuals on the map. They can't trade, they can't get the C4s out, they don't have verticality. You gotta play a little bit closer together. Border's a very small map. I always say it's kind of easier to play together because you can't play that many positions, but DC very spread apart. I love the smiles here. They just, not a care in the world.
No, they're so chill. I mean, there's so much to be said for being able to focus and being in the right headspace, but not being like stressed out, not being like caring too hard. I feel like I talk about this book on cast all the time. But Mandy introduced me to this book that I've been rereading it recently.
The Inner Game of Tennis?
Yeah, that's right. I actually have it if you want to borrow it.
I have it. Are you kidding me?
You bought it?
I bought it.
After we talked about
After
it?
we talked about it.
Did you read it yet?
I've read like 75% of it.
There's also a great audiobook, by the way. That's how I fell asleep the other day when I couldn't sleep because of jet lag. I put it on and it sent me to sleep. Not in a bad way.
Okay.
Very comforting voice. Anyway, the huge point in that book is that the key to success in any sport, and not just in sport, but in esports, or even like we can apply it to our own work as casters, the key to success in any performance-based activity is in not trying too hard. You have to achieve this level of focus where you're just in the zone without actively, consciously trying.
Yeah.
You have to leave the job to your subconscious because our subconscious brain and our body is so much better at actually doing stuff than our conscious brain that's saying, oh, don't talk too fast, don't aim too hard, don't aim too slow, make sure my crosshair's here. No, our conscious brain sucks at that. Just let your subconscious take over, don't try too hard, and you can take it from here. And I feel like Falcons have kind of achieved that headspace in this game.
It does certainly seem like that. Been looking so good at Nighthaven, slows up the border, but they're finding their footing and adapting well against DarkZero. We see Naval Support being brought out though to try and slow things down in case of a rush on that Archives bomb site. Falcons, they don't want to rush. Nice and easy. Got the Munty, got the Twitch. You can set things up, take it step by step. As long as guard goes uncontested, with the fact that there is no C4 from DarkZero, only a smoke and a flare of fire, you should be pretty safe in this round.
Continually running out from Bolo, aggressive, and DZ come to life. Eventually a trade. Dove has taken down that key player inside of CCTV and finally put Bolo down. A retake now of the CCTV position from Robbie. Taking that control on the back of that E1D. The Dread Mine, but still no cue from DZ to push. NJR takes a lot of damage, goes for a swing, deals a little bit back onto guard. There needs to be some support. But Kobe as well holding the line from Fountain. With support as well from Pam, but makes this awkward for Falcons.
But look at it, DarkZero, they're playing 2 guys Fountain, 1 Army, 1 Archives. Everyone in close proximity with crossfires. They can rotate and help each other. They're not isolated, and they're fighting back in numbers.
And that crossfire works to perfection for Kobe there. Guards eventually does something with that Montaigne, but it's all up to Dove now in a 1v3. 2 players low HP, but he's not checking the right angle for Nath, who will spray him on down. And DZ are not going to call it quits. They're going to keep fighting tooth and nail to push us to Consulate.
Is that Kegger Kenny yelling in the background?
Oh yeah, dude.
I heard her gassing up Nath, and I was like, whoa!
Gangrel Kenny has the funniest rest. It's not resting something face that I won't say. He's got resting like I'm really concentrating and I'm kind of pissed off face.
So he looks like such a sweet kid. Like he's like a small lad, but then he yells and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, he's got like
What's
the
happening?
nice guy face,
Yeah.
and then he's got the like, who let the lion out of its cage?
I love it though. In terms of the scoreboard from both teams, it's very even across the board. Nave 2-1. He had a rehost. Yeah, he crashed earlier. That's why we had to take his shoe. But even on 9 even laps, I feel like there's nobody stealing the show and falling massively behind. Sure, Nave had his individual like low KD numbers. Like I think it was 3 and 8 on 9 him. He was making shields all the time and stuff like that. It has been a team effort from both sides of the coin. Robbie, of course. A lot of expectations, I think, on him.
Roby's
But-
actually the lowest rated player in the server right now.
Yeah.
Down at 66 EPS. That's 1 round behind the stats that I've got. But,
Yeah.
you know, the whole rest of the server is above 100. He's
like-
the only one playing below average right now.
He used to get like 2 kills around average, and now he's like getting half a kill.
He had a 2.0 KD at the Montreal Major for the
Exactly.
whole event.
Exactly.
And they made quarterfinals.
Yeah.
How do you achieve that?
And I mean, that's not realistic. You can't do that every event. No one can. But I do think that Robbie's gone in a little bit quiet into this event so far. Not too worried, but certainly has been a big change up. I think how Falcons play, the language barrier, etc. And DC now falling back, not fighting for security, not fighting for break room, kind of giving this up happily and gonna play elsewhere in Armory, Archives, and the first floor.
I like the deep long angle from Dove all the way out of break room through beepers and into lockers, putting that pressure. Cut the top floor in 2. Guards on the blitz. The first time we're seeing it out of Falcons. As he starts to march on forward, he's got diffuser, so he needs to be careful not to die. He is going to walk into a crossfire to try and contest these players upstairs, but already in numbers advantage. Falcons have to figure out how they're going to deal with Nath here. He does fall back. Ooh, C4 could be perfect!
Oh, no.
Look at that position from Hasham! Unaccounted for. The bottom of the main stairs, he finds his pick, and Falcons continue to extend their lead.
The good thing is Bolo caught guards in the blitz as well, so it's a 1-for-1 trade in that regard. And blitz being down means the entry is much more difficult. Bo can trick the walls, got the mute jammers as well, got the support from Pambasu. They should be sitting pretty in this corner, but the Twitch short finding so much value. Oh, it doesn't say that. This is kind of falling apart.
Bolo does manage to juggle one of those walls, but it's not going to be enough, and he's feeling that pressure from every which way. He'll find a kill regardless. Robbie's woes continue. 3 players aside now as Falcons look to eventually hunt down the millionaire player in office. And he's put down. Bolo eliminated. Bullet between his eyes. NJR and Pamba now to stave off match point.
They're both downstairs. Pamba dropped as Bolo died. You can hack the cameras maybe. Not a ton of intel, but those default cams still finds another. The blind angles here working in favor of Falcons. Pambasu 1v3 to stay away from being down on match point.
Ah, Dove finds another one. How does he keep getting this? The Kuwaiti player is on fire today, and Falcons have done what nobody expected. They're on the verge of 2-0ing DZ. The same DZ we saw topple BDS yesterday. Where have they gone?
So by my calculations, DC beats BDS, and Falcons beat DarkZero. That means Falcons are the best team in the group.
Falcons are the best team in Europe and North America. Is that what you're telling me?
Wow, that's a little bit far, I think, there, buddy. Okay, a little bit far.
I think Falcons may win Six Invitational.
now they're not gonna
Sorry,
win.
I'm capping.
Now they're not gonna win.
I'm capping.
Now you've
Our,
jinxed it.
our producer is laughing at me through the comms. That's BM, guys. These guys are playing out of their
Wait,
minds.
right now, what's Kangaroo Kenny saying with those arms? What does that mean?
This is a sick dance move. I love how he's
Right?
moving his
Bang,
knees
bang.
as well. We
Oh,
call this the
Italian hands. Italian hands. You get it?
Ooh. We call this the kangaroo back home.
Kangaroo.
Yeah, we do this all the
He's
time in
doing the
Australia.
Come on, big fist bumps. Come on, bang. No?
All right, match point. Yeah, no fist bump before the round.
That's weak.
They're really digging into the strat book, trying to figure out what setup they're going for in this round. On the defense, it's not DZ that get to dictate the pace, but they do get to dictate the setup, the environment of this map. They're going to go down to Vent's Workshop for this one. Armory Lockers, Archives still locked up, and Bathroom Tellers just failed to be defended successfully. One last chance to push into OT.
The longer I sit here for and think to myself, what could have been different for DarkZero, I start getting this really bad idea that playing the mirror windows, but supporting them with either Jaeger, ADS, or Midas could have been a decent shout against Falcons. Sure, by running mirror, you're always fearing they're just gonna play the Ashe, then we can't do anything about it. But almost nobody plays with my Jaeger in the current meta. I do feel like there's a way you catch opponents by surprise and can make that work. It's a gamble, yes, sure. There hasn't been as much utility as I would have liked to see here. No Maestro from either team. I'm such a Maestro shield. Like, I would have been like, guys, spam the damn Maestro. It's so good. Not many teams agree with that. That's okay. And Brava is a bit of a problem if you do bring out the Brava for Falcons. I get that too. But DC are struggling to find their consistent stride against Falcons. They have moments, they have rounds. But stylistically, DarkZero haven't changed too much from their play style. It's been mostly the same here on border. Hamasu now in Solace. Can find some drones. Can go for a flank, deny a plant maybe, who knows. But the issue is, when Falcons get to the bomb site, it's usually 3-4 players of DarkZero are in the grave already. NTR with a barricade wallbang gets Robbie. That's a huge pick, Ashe. Imagine you had the mirror now. Those mirror windows would stay alive. That's hindsight talking. It's all down to Dove now, the gap finder of his team, to create another space for his. A guards in the Muncie to walk on in and take some control.
The second E1D to ring out. Still no real ground taken. A loose nade finds very little. The peak tempted here as NJR finds another one overtime. Looks to be on the cards. Hasham, a logic bomb to detonate, but he needs 5 kills, and this ain't happening. DZ have played this game of attrition on this round, and with only half the timer subsided, they find themselves in an unlosable position. It's going to be OT here for the Americans. Hasham needs to decide, is he going to actually try and play this one out, or is he going to sit back and just talk to the team?
He owns the bomb site. He won the round. If
Is that how it works? Where's that diffuser, by the way, Nick?
No, if you stand on the bomb site as a sole player on attack for 20 seconds, you win the round.
This is not secure area.
Oh, is it not?
We actually play bomb game mode.
Have you always done that in Pro League?
I don't know. I'll ask someone that played in the Year 1 Season 1 Pro League Finals and get back to you.
Let me get Canadian real quick.
I'm inside. Kobe says keep baiting.
Oh! Okay.
Oh, look at Nafe, dude. He's so tilted. He's like, how do I even lose that one? A very peculiar way to hit overtime. But DZ are on their way to a comeback, but they need to finish it off here in OT. Back onto the attack now for the Americans, as Falcons need to be sure not to let their wits fall down to the wayside. DZ could well and truly make this comeback and send us to map 3. Falcons don't want to let that happen.
I feel a bit bad for Nafe. That guy's been struggling in a couple of his gunfights.
See the frustration in his face, dude. That reaction was
I feel
hilarious.
like he's been grabbing his face with his hands a couple of times by now. It's like, God damn it, man. It's funny though, because sometimes you'll have a game, which I think Dove is having, where you feel like everything you do is going to work out, no matter how silly it is. Then you have Nave, who's like, I just want to get 1 kill, man, without dying, and he just can't get it. Like, every player goes through those motions where you feel on top of the world, unbeatable, and you feel the opposite of, like, I cannot buy a kill.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been struggling in this map.
What's his overall stats do you have so far for
So
Nave?
he's 7 and 8, which I believe this is about 1 round delayed, so I think he'd be 7 and 9.
Okay.
Which does make him the lowest rated on his team, but he's doing far and away better than Robbie, who's 4 and 10 right now.
I see you.
Oh, 5 and 11.
I don't know with the live score, yeah.
Yeah, live score. Yeah, he's doing a lot better than Robbie, which is surprising considering Robbie was my best player in the Montreal Major.
Yeah, Nave is IGLing, playing shields, all that stuff. Robbie is literally a roaming gun for hire.
Doesn't even talk like to the rest of the team. He doesn't even speak Arabic.
He's just there. This is risky,
What is
by the way.
this? J-Lad's in an awkward spot. Is he able to find this kill?
Oh, it's a drone.
Yeah, he's been
Up
spotted.
high.
He is playing this so well, though, not to pop up his head and expose. As I say that, he's tempted to do that.
Oh.
Please don't die to Pamba here.
Dancing.
He's actually going to try and use some smokes, considering drone is still there watching his position. Some good drone work here from DZ. First time in a long time that we see the Americans back on the attack.
They lost half the drones. They got the Monty. Remember, last time they were on the attacking side, they were lacking intel at times. Fast, quick entry on Armory side. Did they find something?
Oh, Robbie finds his 6th kill and his 7th. He comes up when it matters, it seems. NJR to trade, but I don't know if Falcons are really dismantled, dislodged out of their positions as of yet. They still hold on to Office. They still have Fountain. A lot of work to be done for DZ.
Actually, just press left click as you hover your mouse over a guy through a wall. Just one tap him. Oh. Because Dove is in Office on the window with a softball next to him, I believe. So that could have been a nasty one tap.
So much potential.
Got it. Spencer drops downstairs. No settlements in mind. Rotate on site though. There's a path forward. There's a way in.
Is this winnable? But not sure if he's afforded the ability to go for a play. And NJR is working together. Guard's looking for a flank, but he goes down. And now the site has been taken by DZ. Harsham from over in Ventilation Workshop. He does find one. Dove as well. And overtime kicks off with Falcons again. On the defensive side, they found themselves a 2nd match point.
It's looking so good for DarkZero though. They had the opening kill, they had the opening kill. They died to Robbie early on, but it looked like they were going to get a free opening kill. He was spotted, they had a drone, they had a cross, they had a Monty. Again, they fall apart. Right there, the 1, the 2. Robbie swings for a 3rd and dies. And then we see DarkZero in the middle of the site out of nowhere. Couldn't plant though. Diffuser was dropped by Nave upstairs, I believe. Nobody picked it up, nobody was there to do it. DarkZero on defense now, with a very similar lineup to in the past. Lane 2 trap over a 3-wave count Legion. Milusi defender, the Q mines. They want to try and weaken Falcons' gunfights when they get close, and of course close those gaps in the staircases, the flanks, the backstabs. Falcons, what are they gonna do? We see a Forest come out with Hibana. They're gonna keep bringing that Monty. I think it's been a wise choice. Both teams doing a good job with the shield operators, I will say. But at the same time, neither team doing a whole lot to stop the shields from working. We've yet to see like vertical C4s, for example. In this round, not a single C4 in play.
It's true, and those C4s have been struggling a little bit because of the lack of information on account of the Echo Valkyrie bans. We've seen a lot of bulletproof cameras, often 2 played each round for either team on the defensive side. Pamba and Bolo have brought them here. Easy need to keep their heads above water, back on defense. We've seen a few good defenses from them, but Falcons got the 2 attacks required in regulation. If the stats continue, DZ should be able to push a 15th here.
So the thing about overtime that can change a lot for some teams is that risk assessment will change. When you're playing 0-0, you can make that risk, take that swing, go for the clutch, be crazy about it. When you're up or down 6-7 overtime, that play you might make with 0 hesitation at the beginning of the game, you might not go for it anymore. DarkZero, they are the kings of overtime. They are on familiar territory. Over Falcons, sure, they've been there before, but can Robbie make that crazy play? Can Dole find the flank? Because if he goes for it and it does not work out, DC goes to 7-7 and they go back to the attacking side. That's risky.
Kobe on 12 kills, tempted to go for an aggressive run out here. Rotero exposing his position, taking out that keeper barrier, and NJR's found his pick on the Dove.
Huge start. And now DC have 2 options, right? Either you stay aggressive, stay on the front lines, but you kind of peel back towards the bomb side border. They are not known for the sides to be strong. Gotta hold security, gotta hold the extended areas. Bolo's taking his ground right now in that corner.
Jayla's taking a hell of a lot of damage. There's just no teeth to this attack. Falcons cannot get their talons into this game. It's 5 match points so far. 5 map points we've seen DZ win out against them. Now Falcons trying to convert again what they have struggled to convert all series long.
It would be a DarkZero classic to take us to maximum time though. It's meant to be, it's gotta be. Smoke goes out.
This is good.
A lot of damage.
NJR still not traded
Dead,
back.
actually.
How does Guards die there? He didn't get out of the smoke in time. He falls. A Monty nullified. NJR very happy with that one.
Duration doesn't stop. And put a big run out. Get back inside the building, my friend. 5 versus 2. Kobe's on the ground. You can sacrifice him. That's okay. With 4 defenders alive. Diffuser on the ground. 35 seconds. Robbie has shown a near impossible task, but not impossible in front of them. You gotta find 4 kills, though.
That diffuser is down at top east, though. I'm not sure if DZ are aware of it, but it does restrict Falcons' options. 20 seconds to play. DZ lie in wait. Nath on the side. He's had an unlucky game so far, but he finds the kill he's been looking for.
7-7.
Confidence is back. We will need the full 15.
I like that shit. 77, bro. Come on.
Who's excited about 7-7 like Kobe, bro? He loves this. He's
Oh, bro.
he's locked in.
He's so into it. I love that energy, though.
Yeah.
It's what we need. We've seen him pretty demotivated at points. And now, if anything, it's Falcons looking deflated.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing less smiles there. Guards, the man that we just saw there, has been so smiley throughout this entire series. And one of the first times where it stopped.
Where's
I think
this
they know.
energy?
I mean, they're struggling right now. Sure, Falcons have found success on border, but a lot of it comes down to, again, we've had 3 separate 1v1s or 2v2s play out. That could have been DarkZero's round, and then they take it in regulation. Instead, we find ourselves on a classic 7-7 scoreline. With Dove not finding the gaps recently, Falcons are starting to get into the building safely as they're falling apart before they can get there.
It does feel like most of the rounds that Falcons are winning, it's because Dove has just found someone
For
facing
sure.
the other direction and he's got a free kill. Often that turns into a double. DZ have been much more wary and much more proactive as well. The way that they used that smoke last round to take down the Monty, I really like that proactivity on the defense, taking the fight to Falcons, not hyper-aggressive, just a smart amount of aggressive to keep talking up the pressure.
They're both fighting for opening kill right now. And, I mean, what's the Toxic Babes going to do if you're a 1v4 on the bomb side, right? You might as well use it earlier on, get some value, get a kill. The thing is right now DarkZero will be attacking. They got to force the problem. They need to force the opening. It can be Bolo on the gun. It can be Pampa, Kobe, NGR, or Nave on Monty. They have options, they have solutions, they have self-destruction. And nothing's going to really stop them right now in this round. The Miranos can be problematic, but both Ash and Ace, I think they'll be okay.
What's the play for DZ? Top floor, Armory Lockers, Archives is the bomb site. Falcons, no pressure down below as of yet. Holding onto these key positions on the top floor. Break room, 90 hallway. It's Robbie playing break again. I think he does see the Monty down below in Passport.
I'm not liking this. I mean, if you're Monty, you can go east stairs, you can go security door or window, you can try and take some of that map control, because going downstairs, you got the verticality. We see Robbie with the line of sight, the Guman's coming out as well. The longer you wait, the more troublesome this will get with both the Asami Q barriers and Guman's, you know, charging up, if you will. I like this more. It took us almost half the round to get there.
Here comes east stairs from Nath. Looking for a little bit of something. There is a player in the hallway just patiently waiting. That's Harsham. As Bamba finds the opening kill, it has been instrumental for him. He's doubled down, sneaking up the stairs. Dove does eventually finish Bolo. Here on match point, DZ stand tall. Another kill now for NJR as Dove floundering over on CCTV, can't find a damn thing. DZ nowhere near the site, but it doesn't seemingly matter.
The bait and switch game. Hey, I'm over here. I'm the Monty on these stairs. That's not where the strike is coming from. Now we see DC rotate once more together. Get behind Nave. Get 3 guns facing the same direction. You can go for a simple armory plan here if you wanted to. Nave has diffuse on pocket. There's a soft wall though. As shown, Asami knows he fought no impacts. It's gonna be a tough one.
I know where he is. Information from that drone as well. DZ have full awareness of where these 2 remaining Falcons players are. Nave finds his pick. Another one for Dove. And it becomes a 1 versus 2, but he needs to finish off NJR, the deadly player, with that 417 DMR. Nath now on site with that Monty, an aggressive run out from Dove, and he comes through looking for this last player, the Monty on site. NJR's gone below. How do you win the fight against that Monty? As the Aruni, he doesn't have any gadgetry to assist him, and he has to try and bait out these shots. He has to win against NJR, but he's not going to be given the opportunity. NJR's giving him nothing, and he knows he still can't fight Nath. The game is surely over. DZ have weathered the storm. Time after time, 6 map points against them. They stand tall. They will not sacrifice anything in this series, and they will push us the distance. Consulate is calling, and DZ have dialed the number. Falcons cannot hold on. It will not be a 2-0. We're going to need a third to settle this.
Oh, we so are. I love the next summertime. DC keeping their fans and their hearts racing as you're watching these matches. There's a slow start. There's a fast one on Bolo, slow one on 9 laps rather. Kobe's fired up, and every single player on the server putting such even numbers on the kill board as well. Everyone is committing to the same objective here.
DZ refused to let go. Doesn't matter what kind of a lead their opponents have. 6-1 on map 1, and they still made it a close affair. On map 2, 2 opportunities for Falcons to finish off this game, and they're having to laugh. If you don't laugh, then I guess you're going to cry. DZ are certainly making a statement here. It's 1-1 on the series, and we're going to settle it on Consulate after this break.
Back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back to the back to the back to the back to the back. Take it back, take it back. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Take it back, take it back. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back it up, back it up. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Let me take it back to the realness, feel this. Back to the back to the back to the back to the back.
You want to know a secret? In Boston, the world will learn what secret have been hiding.
Wait for this to unfold. It's all falling apart here. A 5 versus 3 goes awry. On the map because they know what's going on. They can smell what they're cooking. And Doom starts off with a real big serving of 2 kills. He's tearing them a new one. There's one left standing, and Doom, he's had a great game so far. Another off towards the left, but they are giving him nothing. It's one man left. Vendetta's out, sees his man, can't quite find him. Doom has pulled out a 1v3.
For 4 years, Talon sat in the shadows, watching D+ and FearX go to event after event after event. Now it's time to do this properly.
PSG Talon, they're dropping all over the shop. Gotti, once again, all that's left, 10 seconds. He's got the both.
Seems too easy now for him. Creeps up slowly, called it.
30 seconds left to go.
He knows as well, he gets, oh my god, he's got the close one. The last one, inside of the way! What on earth?
What becomes of a team that loses everything? To come as close as possible, but to let it slip through their fingers.
Clash tucked in the back corner, gonna get pressured on here maybe as well. But look at that, he's turned around and found one. He's got behind the Clash.
He knows exactly where he is. He can just pre-fire around.
Oh!
And he misses his shot. The Pants is going down.
They must have another one ready. KDS though, he praised him as the highest rated player. And Handy's got to do the lot. Diffuser did not get stuck, but he's found one. Can he do it in the 1 versus 1? And Nate over the top, knows where his man is.
In stage 1, this team was given an impossible task. In 3 months, build a roster and compete with the best in the world. Want to know how that ended?
Is getting it down. Punch. Gathered through the wall. From zeros to heroes. And BS forcing that plant down. It's up to Hot and Cold, looking away at the wrong moment.
Same spot, 3v2, 10 seconds left. Lagona's holding diffuser, but it's Dance, Gavin, dance! He's won all 3 rounds!
Everything we knew! They are your Manchester Major Champions!
Oh, it's time for map 3. DarkZero have pushed us the distance. Falcons were looking pretty damn good on Nighthaven, even on border with 2 match points. DZ would not give in to those opportunities. And so we go all the way to Consulate. DZ looking to make this quite a series. They will not go down so easily.
No, and I mean, the thing is, I've always believed this. The longer a series goes on for, the better DarkZero gets. Not necessarily in terms of like the round-by-round numbers, but we've had like, you know, a 5-7, not even laps, max OT border. It's been a long best of 3. They have so much experience on this territory, Falcons. They might run out of steam, might run out of solutions, strat depth maybe, or ideas to the table. So DC and Consulate, my hope is starting to go for them.
DZ really need to win this one. They only have 1 more match tomorrow, whereas Falcons still have 2 to go. Both of these teams are on 4 points in their group. And of course, we know how much it matters. You get first seed compared to second or third or fourth seed. Even if you're guaranteed to get out of this group, it matters massively. Now, both of these teams have come away with a guaranteed 1 point out of this match. There are 3 more points up for grabs for the winner. Oh, well, 3 points in total, 2 more points up for grabs for the winner of this game. That map was a little bit all over the place. NJR had a pretty good one. Pamba looked really solid, but Dove was the best player on border.
Look at DarkZero though, 14 kills on top gunner, 9 on the bottom. 5 kills separate the bottom to the lows to highs of fragging. It's entirely in team effort. Bit of a bigger gap there for Falcons, 16-7, but still every single player in the server is working together at such a high level.
Robbie was real my concern though on border.
Yes.
7-14, a 0.5 KD, quite the departure from the 2.0 that we've seen him achieve in the past. We know what that guy's capable of. We know that he can't contribute as much in the comms and the supportive department because he doesn't speak Arabic. So he does really have to have an impact in the fragging. If he's not doing that, I don't think the Falcons are going to be able to compete at this level. So we move to Consulate, and we need to see a little bit more out of Robbie. Otherwise, DZ may be able to make a comeback here.
I can see a world though where Robbie can pop off on this map because there's a lot of movement to it, especially on defense, right? You can play a Legion or a Vigil, run around top 4 in a basement defense, then you go down to the first 4, then either you fall back or you just fight for your life. Either or, I think there's an angle to be worked here. We could maybe even see some funky bans here if DC get concerned, right? Whether it's going to be the Vigil ban coming out to make the room clear better. Deimos has not gone through the operator ban phase. Like, he hasn't survived it. He's been banned out both of the maps so far. Maybe he goes through. Because when you go to a third map, that's when some teams will try and go for a change play.
Well, both of these teams played Consulate in their first play day. Falcons beat PSG on this map. DarkZero actually lost it to Raza Company 7-5. So, and that was actually with 2 shield bans, Monty and the Blitz. So a lot in it for DZ here. We have to see a little bit of improvement. I have no doubt, especially as Falcons had the day off yesterday, and they've got 2 support staff. They've got Eden assisting Mad Skills. So there'll be plenty of time to go and analyze that Consulate game that we saw DZ play against Raza. Start to look at those weaknesses and formulate a game plan to exploit them. So I do think that in a way, Consulate may favor Falcons.
You have starting side, I can see it. So Falcons starting on the attacking side, DarkZero on defense. I overheard a conversation as I was getting my tea.
Ooh, really?
And I don't know how to understand it. Either Falcons were saying how they're expecting to go 5-1 on their half, or they said they're okay with going 1-5. I couldn't quite tell which version they meant.
Well, I'm gonna guess that it's the latter because they're starting
okay
on
with
attack.
going weak side,
Yeah, because you do have to have that attitude. Like, I think Falcons have shown to be a little bit of a mental team. It was a bit concerning what we saw on Border. I mean, even just on Nighthaven, right? 6-1 up, letting it go to a 6-5.
Yeah, can't close it out.
Even though they close the game out eventually, it's a huge red flag if they will let it slip that deep. And the same can be said for Border. 2 match and series points available, both of them fumbled. 3, in fact, actually, because there were 2 in overtime.
Right.
So Falcons really have proven that they cannot be closers. And this series has gotten extremely close with the social prediction. 56 in favor of DZ as they look to make this run it back a reality. As we go to Consulate, DZ have the momentum on their side, but Falcons are snapping at their heels.
All right, let's see. Will Deimos survive the Arbiter ban phase? We'll see anything funky like a Mute, a Mossy, and Vigil getting banned out. We'll see a Muncie getting banned, maybe.
I kind of want to
Both
see the
teams played
Muncie
it.
ban. DZ were much better at it than Falcons, in my view.
I don't disagree.
Blackbeard.
Okay.
Dude, DZ kind of sucks
DZ
at
were kind of
Blackbeard.
trolling on the Blackbeard. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd be getting rid of that Monty.
Yeah, I mean, maybe DC, they will do it instead. Let's see it. Deimos.
As you
He
said.
will not survive. So 3 for 3.
Lisanne Monty still making it through. Yeah, I feel like if I was Falcons, I would have been getting rid of that Monty here.
Yeah.
I think that DZ are going to be able to use that really well. Yes, there's a lot of ways to kill a Monty on this map, a lot of vertical potential, but I just
Great
feel
operator.
like DZ is going to be in a really good stead if they can use that to brute force these positions.
Yeah, and I do agree with you. I do think that Nave got more value out of the Muncie than Guards did for Falcons, but not like a massive difference, but certainly one that matters. Hide and go following through. Okay, we can still do some stuff around the two-brow if we really wanted to, but those time-wasting operators have mostly been removed from play now. I love the kite band specifically. It is such a bother to deal with that on Consulate. They can be above, they can be below, they can be on the sides. You don't want to bring out a Thatcher because CBA. We gotta get more flexible operators available to us. DC's on defense though. Very comfortable statistically. That is the favorable side on Consulate. In the opening round, they will bring out an Ella. Now, I'm a huge fan of Ella in the current game of Siege. Gun is hard to play. It does -5 damage unless you hit the headshot. Has a
It
ton
gives
of
them
recoil.
HP with every
It
shot.
actually heals them when you one-tap them with a headshot. But I do think the Ella Griswold mines are still something that's kind of underrated. They're super annoying, especially against shield operators.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the rework to the guard break on the
Right.
shield operators, which this is the first event that we're really seeing that come into fruition. There's a huge shield nerf coming through. We're actually going to see a bit of a repick from guards. I assume he's going to stick this. No, he's going to change it. Never mind. There was a blitz teased out for a brief moment. We're going to go with a no-shield lineup here for Falcons to kick things off as they attack the top floor.
I actually like this. I like when you're starting off on, like, let's say, an average round outcome. You're not going to play like your rush, and you're going to play like your shield operators. Just to get what's the feeling right now that DC is giving us, and how do we want to adapt to it going forward. If you start the shield setup and DC plays into it, you're going to feel like DC was, you know, over-prepared for the exact situation. So, just a normal start here. Fast inch by Hashom, thrown by his feet. Lightly waiting for the Dokkaebi call to progress further. Looks like Falcons want to go for a full map room clear, top floor, first floor before going downstairs.
Under 5 seconds, and Hashim will have that Dokkaebi call available. I wonder if he is going to bomb it straight away. There it is, available, not used as of yet. You can see DZ are seemingly aware of that rush. Hashim has snuck now into Piano. What's the play here? This is very pacey from Hashim, but I'm not sure exactly what the execute intention is from Falcons as J-Lad's in the building.
Hashim can cover C4s downstairs. You use the Grim Beast and see Repel to get any of the red pings. You can Repel in, go for a plant. Thing is, 3 Toxic Babes, 1 C4 in pocket, and a Griswold Mine can stop the plant as well. So if they're burning too many Bs right now, they won't have enough to like sustain the round.
Oh, opportunity goes begging there for
Kobe.
J-Lad. Kobe's found 2 kills. He was fired up after map 1. And he's already started hot here on Consulate.
Set has fallen apart. You've lost, I mean, 2 of your players, 3 of your Bs, 1 phone call left from Dokkaebi. Hashom is very passive this round, just waiting in piano, and DC, they're nowhere near that area of the map. They're holding up top, closing those stairs. That's a shoddy. No way you lose this, right?
It's impossible. Physically impossible
Physically
to lose
impossible?
this fight.
Oh, okay.
Even with the Ella Mine rather going off onto guards, NJR wins this fight. Hashom and Dove now to try and pick up the pieces. Dove is in an awkward position all alone, just baiting out shots. And Kobe is just waiting for him. Perfect 90-degree crossfire here with him and Bolo. Easy 3rd kill of the round for Kobe. Hashom got in the building in the first 15 seconds, and he has done absolutely nothing. It's perfect. To kick things off for DZ, nothing from Falcons in that attack.
We often see teams go for those CEO direct plans, and it's such a bait because it's something that I feel like shouldn't actually work. This round, C4, Bristled Mine, 3 Toxic Babes, that's like a pretty normal thing to happen, but if teams really want to deal with this, play Tashanga. You can stand in meeting and shoot those fire Molotov and deny for like 2 full minutes straight, and we see so often teams be like, let's just go see your window, wee! It's not that simple. And the thing is, it gets overly forced, and I feel like in this round in particular, it was the exact same scenario. Because there wasn't really any point in this round where you think to yourself, that might have worked.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have. EC had the right operators for it, as a team should. That was that.
Falcons' refusal to actually take ground on that top floor was their biggest demise. They didn't look to attempt even admin at all. They got Hashom in the building so early, and he had no impact.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, you need piano control, so take it early, it makes sense, but if you're gonna sit there the entire round, and you don't do anything with it, if he was a Deimos...
That's what I was going to say. It's different if he was a vertical operator.
If he's Buck, right, he can actually do stuff from downstairs, but instead he's a Dokkaebi. It's like, great, you have a global gadget, but you can't do any vertical destruction or distract the enemy players or get a kill unless they come to you. I love this bomb site, by the way. It's the only split bomb site in the current map pool. We used to have more of those back in the day.
What are the ones in the rest of the map pool?
Sorry? The rest of,
I'm trying to think, what else? What other split bomb sites in the map, in the game? What other split bomb sites are there?
Now you put them in the spot.
Because there will be some on like the really casual maps that nobody plays.
Sure.
Like on-ranked maps, but I actually
House? We have pool table garage. Oh, that's old house. Like,
that's old house. I don't think that's in the game
anymore. It's not the game anymore. No, it's not.
Yeah.
What else do you have? Now I'm getting
I remember when
confused.
they introduced this bomb site, because this wasn't in, I mean, even in old Consulate only launched with 3 bomb sites. It was lobby, garage, and top floor. And then they added the 4th one. Same with Clubhouse.
Oh!
Wait, Clubhouse has a split bomb site? No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
That was just told to me by my producer, but that's wrong.
There's server, I think that was actually.
Is that Nova?
We're getting distracted now.
Anyway, you know what's happening? A game is being played, and Hashom has once again snuck his way into the building, quite far from the bomb site, however. He's in the top floor. And as you said, it's a split bomb site.
I'm trying to figure out what other split bomb
You're
sites
obsessed
there.
with this now.
I am. I'm actually trolling this so hard.
You're insecure. You're
I'm
like,
so
dude, I thought I
trolling
knew this game better than anyone.
No, I had it, then I lost it.
There's a bit of a standoff here between guards and Pambazoo as well. Side of admin. Robbie is looking to push from the other side. A jump out from Panba!
Okay.
What is that? And meanwhile, Robbie has died in the hallway on the top floor as well. DarkZero are looking very comfortable on this defensive side. Falcons, try as they will, they found nothing so far.
What about this, though? Oh, the nearsightedness. You can't quite see your opponent, but it doesn't stop him from getting the shot. Bolo goes down. 3-on-3, and again, DarkZero, you gotta hold on. You got those man advantages. Bolo was alone upstairs. Nobody could help him. He chose to take that gunfight. With that, cams will get hacked. Bulletproofs and defaults to be taken on the side of Falcons.
So what info is there now? Robbie's flicking it all. There's a teller's camera that's inside of sight on the first floor. There's a yellow stairs camera. There's a garage camera. This is a huge amount of information. Even Spiral on the ground floor. So much info. And a shot there from Dove. Beautiful drone work. It's now a 3v2 as the advantage has well and truly flipped.
They need to flank though. I'm thinking about it. 30 seconds, 3v3, split bomb site. They're looking pretty comfortable.
Info
Risky
again!
play. Oh, Nave?
The lobby camera spots Nave, but he still wins his fight onto J-Lad.
No.
Hasham does get him through the floor, even though Nave peppered it through a few bullets. Now it's up to Pamba. He already got his jump out in the early round. Now he's got to fight off too. Hiding in the ground floor, but he's not visible from that camera. Time is ticking away. There's no diffuser. They have to go for kill. The swing doesn't land the shot. Where on earth is the diffuser?
They left it in lobby.
Is he getting a warning from the admins? Is that what's happening? That looked like he was getting like a warning
He's
from
like,
the
yo,
admins.
Kenny, chill, dude. He's like, thumbs up.
Dude, that's awesome.
And so Jayla had in lobby. So Nave sprints through, dies to showing the vert, no one picks it up. Let's go.
What the hell, bro?
What are you doing?
Laxing's just walked over to watch us at the caster decks. Lax, you definitely want to go and watch Kangaroo Kenny. The next time they went around, he went nuts, and I think he got told off by the admins. I feel like I'd be able to hear that from the next room. If I wasn't casting right now, I'd be sitting there just watching him.
You know, on my time off, I gotta bring my camera out and just photograph Kenny popping off.
Do it.
With a victory roar
Emmy's
photo.
been running around with an old film camera as well.
He has. He's gonna get the film developed and get us the photo.
Oh yeah.
Imagine that.
Love that.
I mean, DC right now is starting out 2 for 2. That's gonna feel so good. That split bomb side can be hard to play, and I do think DC found a lot of struggle in that previous round with making the right decisions, but they still get the round victory, and that's all you need really. Falcons, I want to see them go back to more default kind of consulate takes. I did overhear one more thing when I was making my tea, and they were saying how they were a bit worried about having shown too much in the previous games, maybe. That they didn't have as many one-off ways to play the map right now, so depending on those like default ways of approaching it, but they haven't played default rounds yet. First round CEO brute force doesn't work out. That previous one, it's either brawl top 4, brawl first floor, very messy, very spread apart. For this basement attack, I would love to see them just kind of do like the top roam clear, the first floor roam clear, vert destruction, hit that 5v5 bombs that execute. And all you really need right now, because DC aren't roaming all that heavily, is time. They gotta be a little bit quicker. But as I say that, Ember finds a kill, Dove is dead, it's gonna be Hibana, that's not.
It's an aggressive run out from Visa as well. I'm inclined to agree with you here, Nick, because the Goyo and the Kaid ban lends itself to having more time. Going for that map clear, you're able to breach quickly because that Kaid's banned. You're allowed to execute in the late round without having to wait out Vulcan canisters. You don't have to waste time with a Twitch jam. Falcons have taken a bit of that top floor, but I think this is a little bit too slow, especially having already lost a player. Guard's now uncertain of where he wants to drone from. He's worried about being run out upon. Hasham's made his way down Spiral, looking to try and cut the map, but there's still no pressure on this basement as of yet, even on the server side of the map.
Yeah. With DC getting that kill, they're just gonna sit pretty, just like on Border. They're so good at playing a disciplined game. Robbie knows that player downstairs, but as this is happening, Bolo gets another kill. So Robbie can wait all he wants. It's only gonna get worse for him. If Bolo's in trouble right now inside that closet, just jump out. Stall for time, stay alive. Bolo's about to be surrounded, most likely. Nate's in the pocket of J-Lack and force his position out.
Should be a free kill. Nave goes out. He's going to force him to go downstairs, but he's just going to rotate all the way outside through the garage breach, which is open. It's being watched from above by J-Lad, but Bolo knows he doesn't have to move at all. This is now forcing the bait here from Falcons. They have to have one player watching this vert from above, and the other one has to go and push Bolo into the site. I mean, this should be a free kill, but Robbie has to find it. Eventually, he drops down. He's got wall hacks onto Bolo because Bolo is still outside. The nades go out. Bolo's still tempted to try and win this fight. He almost gets it. Time is wasted. Another good shot, though, from Robbie. Maybe this is winnable with less than 10 seconds to play. The E1D goes out. The logic bomb to detonate, but the shotgun up in Hasham's face. The plant going down, but the coverage is not going to be there enough. Robbie forcing it down. J-Lad to find Pamba. There is a trade now, as Robbie has to find an ace to keep this game alive. Nate finishes him off. And DZ continue their reign of terror on defense. 3 rounds on the trot.
Oh, Bolo with the amazing play there, getting the kill, getting out, staying alive for as long as possible. Robbie, though, when he actually gets going, when he's activated, he is doing so much work in the server. I mean, he almost single-handedly won them that round. DC, they made 2 small errors with a massive punishment. With that lead for DarkZero, Falcons will call their tactical timeout, talk things through, and kind of settle the nerves here, because those smiles are long gone, and they were so close to being on border, and they couldn't finish the job.
Tactical timeout called for Falcons. Much needed. 3 rounds down. What's Madskill's going to say to the squad now? Where's the energy gone? On map 1, Falcons had so much of it. You were mentioning guards before as a particular player that was so energetic. And I'm seeing none of it now. Is Madskill's even saying anything? Barely talking.
Doesn't seem like it a whole lot. He's actually sitting down before the timeout is over.
The contrast between Kangaroo Kenny playing behind these players and Madskill's trying to support Falcons.
Bolo almost had that deflected, but the drop shot was great from Robbie.
Damage was done. I mean, Robbie would have needed to do something insane to make that possible for Falcons.
Nave is yelling. That's actually shooting.
Nave's got his confidence back. Dude was looking rattled on border, and now he's back into it. I feel like the momentum, it's perhaps irreversible now. DZ have stolen the show, and Falcons are looking a shell of their former selves.
This is kind of how I expected the match to play out when I was thinking about it this morning as I was in bed. I was like, DCs were going to be like in the driver's seat, just like playing a disciplined style of Siege.
Hasn't been the story until this
map. It hasn't been the story at all until this very moment, and that's what's catching me by surprise. It feels a little bit like to me that DC, they start off with like the newer, more aggressive, loosey-goosey style of Siege, and the more it doesn't work out, the more they default back to old semantics of how to play the map. They're playing very disciplined, barely moving, not making a lot of decisions, and I mean that the most positive way possible.
You don't need to on this map right now. The way Falcons are taking it.
But then you look at 9 even laps in border, and it's almost like they're overcomplicating things and making some, not blunders, but definitely mistakes of significance that I wouldn't expect from DarkZero, that we haven't seen from them a whole lot in the past. But the fact that they're able to adapt and overcome time and time again is obviously a great look for them. And for Falcons, they do just lack some experience in very long series with strategical depth, adaptation, energy levels, etc. because they're kind of just falling flat on Consulate so far.
Perhaps it'll change as we go to a different bomb site. Now we go to press room. Top floor is the point of contention now for Falcons. A breach on the external wall of meeting, forcing NJR back. Amber still keen to play quite aggressively around long desk though. Drones spotting him. Asham also keen for a bit of a backstab, but he can't march too far forwards. He needs to time this with the rest of the squad. Falcons continuing to try and march on forward here on the top floor. Almost an opportunity there for Robbie. We need some more pressure here as Bamba is forced back. His retreat covered by that keeper barrier.
Monty is so good here, taking space. Yellow window gets a kill. Freebie onto Pambasu. Bathroom window, should I say. It looked like it was yellow for a second there. Now you got the opening kill. That's the hardest task on Consulate because it was so hard to find those openings. Are you fighting Ghost? Oh, he's out of there. Okay, I see. Running away. Again, not risking their life. They got the advantage. They got what they wanted. They got to work around the Monty now. Like, guards leading the way. Roam clear top floor. Do a bit of vertical destruction. Set up the bomb site for later. And you just got to go downstairs into lobby. Hit the plant spot. That should be it.
NJR is going to have to try and retreat outside. I don't think there's anyone waiting for him. He is going to be able to get... Oh, no! Hashom's backed out again and still ready to try and receive NJR on that retreat. Dove has also found Bolo. The DMR's come to life. And it looks like Falcons on the back of that tactical timeout may be on the verge of something new.
Change the pace. The Monty is so good just pushing back those defenders. As Showman Yellow's their store as well. They're coming for him. They want blood. They want the kill. They're gonna get it. Robert with the shotgun confirms it. Nathan a 1v5.
So the shotty comes out as well. Here's round the corner Robbie with his own secondary shotgun. A shot to the face. The Italian gets that kill. Finally the energy is back for Falcons.
So are the smiles. You break that cursed 0-3 streak, and all of a sudden things look a lot better. Now going back to the one thing that I spoke of, it sounded like Falcons said they're okay with going down 1-5. They've got their one round. So by worst case scenario, we're looking at that 1-5. They said they're okay with it. Once they go on defense, they'll figure things out. Sometimes it is like that. Back when old Theme Park, or I guess current Theme Park was in Pro League, back when Villa first came out, they were extremely defender-sided. Current Skyscraper, still a massive problem, of course. Speaking of split bomb sites, old Favela had one.
Oh, yes.
It did. It had one with a hatch that connected the two. It was completely nasty.
I just say I miss old Favela. That was the worst map in the best way.
Agreed. There was 20 walls to reinforce. You had 10 of them. You had to pick like what's gonna get funky here.
I love that map. Bring it back, please, guys. I miss it. My favorite thing was just to do that really cringe prone angle from outside Weed Room where you could look through the whole map. You open up the wall on Buck and you can literally
see the whole thing.
Cut the whole map in two.
No, the
I
map
miss
was
that
cooked.
so much.
I enjoyed it though, because again, it was just crazy daisy. You had to force play it in ranked sometimes as well.
Yeah. Imagine that with the amount of destruction that we have these days. Imagine playing New Tachanka on that map.
It was it's fun fact for the people that don't know that are watching now. Every single map that came out used to be in Pro Play. So like Old Favela, Yak, like all the maps, House was in Pro League as well. It's after a couple of years, we were like, okay, not every map is Pro League viable. Let's like put a quarantine on it, see if it's good, then put it in. But no, we did play those maps once.
I remember that.
Plain.
Oh, plain.
My Pro League debut map was plain.
Yeah.
Terrible, we lost.
Remember that Kickstar 1v5 clip on plane?
Yeah.
Good times.
The fastest A's at the time.
Yeah.
Check out the plaque there now on the wall.
Yeah.
Memory of it.
Beautiful.
Remember when it happened, everybody was like, look at this. This guy's the best in the world. And I was like, no, he's not. No, he's
Your
not.
ego was getting hurt.
I want to be the best player. And then we became friends and, yeah, worked together. All time flies. Nate goes out. Rappel on in. Robbie on a heater now, getting the 5th kill. Shutting down Bolo once more. I like that Bolo is still finding himself in these early aggressive fights, because when I saw Bolo on TV put on Thermite a couple of times in this tournament, I'm thinking, he's not old enough for full support yet, right? And he's still got that early fight in him. Doesn't always pan out. This time it didn't, at least. He also advances forward. Dove on a more front-centric operator. Can't quite backstep and gap from the Osa. We can try and get down a plant later on.
Yeah, the Osa's a great pick here.
Yeah.
I mean, all the shields are available except for Blackbeard, and yet the Osa, perhaps they just want a shield for face checking, but also want the rifle. The only two options for those kinds of operators. Dove, as you said, usually the backstab player is going to be the tip of the spear this time around. This is a very peculiar set of keeper barriers. Robbie will find his nade kill onto Kobe himself. Ironic.
Don't see all that often with the inability to cook the grenades anymore, but this sets them up greatly. No more Grim Beast though. Last snake goes down in the pocket of Dove at least. Now you can get that Oza forward. If you clear NGR's position, that could be a free plant.
Shotty in hand, that smoke to try and enable a little bit of a peek, or perhaps just to try and quench this push. NJR and Pamba both find kills, one of them which is traded, and it leaves Falcons better off. NJR holding onto his position in meeting. He's been forced back away from the door. His last gas babe to subside. The default plant position, still 20 seconds to play. After it will have finished, but he finds the headshot he's looking for. And suddenly, the pressure is back on Falcons. Naif holding his position. What are Hashaman guards doing? It's been far too late. Naif on the long angle. The Scorpion, a volatile weapon for it. The Elamine to detonate. Naif is right here. He's in position. Is there coverage from guards? There is. The first. The second comes calling. Naif finds it. He gets the double. He silences Falcons. Puts them back in their place.
It's been a lot and lot of rounds for Nate, for he has fallen short of being off the timing, not finding the kill, not finding the clutch, but now in a very pivotal round to continue that lead for DarkZero, getting the 4th off their own to a 4-1 lead. The pre-fire on the first and the second, they're practically running to his bullets right here. Beautiful. Not taking the 50-50. Did you say woof woof?
That's dog.
But the real thing is, the real hero of that round is NGR. He held on for so long. He hit some nasty shots with SMG-11. And in the very end there was a red ping on the right-hand side of top spiral. So in his mind, that's where the player was. When he turns his back to the left-hand side and dies, he got baited by the ping. He literally didn't make any mistakes in that round. But the one area where they did have like correct intel, Nave steps up instead. Beautiful stuff.
Exactly what DZ needed. 4-1 now. You said that you overheard Falcons perhaps saying
something 1-5-5-1.
Something along the lines of, guys, we can go down 5-1 in the first half. It doesn't matter. We can come back. Attack on Consulate is not easy. So DZ, they really should be gunning for the 5-1 here. It looks so achievable. And just imagine the confidence that that would give them in the second half moving on to the attack. I've no doubt that DZ will struggle more on the attack than on their defense. How much remains to be seen? My question, if Falcons can finish off this half by conjuring up a second attack round, will that give them the belief in themselves to push the gap and come back in the third map? I feel like it is possible, but there's a lot of pressure on this round right here.
There is Bravo being brought out. Very decent, I guess. Valkyrie cams, default cams. The two primary things to hack, most likely. Very passive approach. Like Monty plus Bravo plus Dogebi. Not a whole lot of entry capabilities. Means again, more pressure on Robbie and Dove to find those kills.
Ooh, Hasham's in
they're
for another
fast.
backstab. Robbie is back on it as well. Robbie's been
Both
hot this
sides.
game. Much better. 6-4. This is the form that we need from him. Not at all like last map where he went for a 0.5 KD.
Oh.
They need to not push this too early.
Nave was screaming on his microphone. I think he's got the read on this right now, saying, guys, they're over here, they're over there, they're gonna go for backside take. Like, really? Rotate. Help me. So the funny thing is, if they overflow the site and catch Nave for injury out by surprise, once they're in, they'll get that bomb down immediately. So DC cannot get caught by full surprise factor. We see the outlines though. They're so ready for this. J-Lad actually above almost into the side, the upstairs bomb side too. There's gonna be a gap here.
J-Lad's gonna spot the player. Kobe goes down. And suddenly the dominoes begin to fall. Bolo holding onto his position. NJR spotted. And taken down by guards. The Monty worth his weight in gold. And these DZ players are dropping one by one. Bolo steps up. But Hasham for the backstab. Doubles down. Pamba in a 1v4. Nothing to play for. There's no way into it. The Monty securing that diffuser. Shield back up again. And Falcons, they've done it. They've exceeded expectation. And the energy is back into the team. 2-4 in the half.
They said they're okay at 1-5, however 4-2 instead. And just like that, the most convincing round we've seen from them in a long time on the attacking side of all things. It just looked like it was thought of from the very beginning. The spawns, the drone positions, the operator selection. I was thinking, what's the take gonna be with a Monty and a Brava? Kind of contradicting operators, if you will. Well, backside, front side, downstairs as well. And just have that one flanker above. J-Lad on Brava. Found the opening kill. Just sent him into the bomb side. And just take full control. Nice!
I can't tell if that's a sigh of relief. It feels like it. Falcons surely feeling a lot better about themselves and about their position after getting that second round. This is like par for the course on a good day, and Falcons had even set their sights lower than this. So to exceed expectations surely fills them with a little bit more confidence. Moving now onto their defensive side, we go to the top floor. This is where they're going to be sitting pretty. This is where they can dictate the pace a little bit more. DZ have so much work to do on these Consulate attacks, clearing positions, taking ground. And Falcons, assuming they can repel an early execute, assuming they have a response for this Monty, which we theory crafted, Falcons may have wanted to ban, then they should be pretty comfortable. But how much have they prepared for it?
Falcons a good start. Get the cams, 2 C4s, toxic babes, they got options. Like to think of him Pambasu though. Having the ability to revive someone that's injured on the map and just heal them up with a bit of health, stay in the fight. There is a fair bit of chip damage. You get wallbang, talking still with C4, impact grenade. I think it makes life easier. If Nave wants to go killing with that pistol on the Monty, of course, fast ADS speed is always nice to have. Bolo was hovering a couple different operators, settled on the buck. DC very much is sitting up right now, goes to the roof, go up the windows. Applying all that phantom pressure, just like this. Gonna make Falcons unsure where the attack is coming from until DC decide. The only big tell they have, well, Nave. If Monty shows somewhere, that's likely going to indicate what's about to happen.
He's still tossing up where he wants to push at the moment. There's information I think Pamba is so tempted here to just jump in the window. Maybe NJR is going to be the one to do it. They can't. Azami's watching. Now the drop in from Yellow Stairs. Guards goes down. Good entry from NJR, but still this position with the shotgun and the shield. Well defended by Dove. He almost finds the Monty as well. Nafe goes down. He's worth so much value in that position, but still DZ able to recompose as C4 doesn't find anything, and it doesn't look like the kill onto the Monty has been confirmed. The revive comes out from Pamba on the Thinker. The perfect operator for it. Oh, lands enough shots to finish off Nath. Does Hashom. Robbie on the site. 8 kills so far in the first 5, 6, 7 rounds. Pamba and Kobe now. Information on their position thanks to those Valkyrie cameras as Hashom has made his way back to site and looks for something. The red pings, the yellow pings, in abundance for Falcons. Information on their side, but time on DZ's. The plant starting to be forced down the back of that Thinker charge. The shots don't land.
What?
Robbie with the pistol. Kobe hasn't confirmed it. A loose nade, and he finds the first kill, but he's got there from a shot. Falcons firing up as they bridge this gap more and more.
Robbie with the pistol, sprinting through the room, practically going for what looked like a hipfire kill onto Pamba. The Finger came out huge, the revive, the healing, the stalling out things. The only thing I think DarkZero could do a little bit better of a job there is I want to see Nave get more active to Monty. When Falk approaches a shotgun operator behind a shield like this, Nave should unextend the Monty shield to a plan that has ability of meleeing the mute or going for an ADS swing. Otherwise, it's a Buck 1v1, and it's a Monty 1v1, in both of which Dove, of course, come out victorious.
That's the energy we need. Falcons have bridged that gap. One more round to close the distance. As we go over to press room, DZ, they had such a good in, they had such a good idea. That shield position at Yellow Stairs was so good, and Dove played it so well. Even with that Monty, they weren't able to clear it. I feel like maybe if it was a Blackbeard, they would have been able to nade out that position.
Hey, a blitz, you flash it.
Blitz, yeah. So well played there from Falcons. A good setup. Ooh. Tempting some aggression as well from guards. Keeping that pressure on.
I hate spawn peaks, I gotta say it. I'm such a hater. Like, spawn runouts like that, if I die something ranked, oh, I'm so pissed. I really am. Makes me tilt.
I miss... I'm not a spawn run out, but like mid-round Valkyrie jump outs.
Oh, yeah?
That was my
like,
bread
you chuck
and
your
butter.
camera and just go for
Dude,
it?
I played Valkyrie every single round of Consulate. I had all 3 of my cameras outside.
Don't give me memories of that. Like, old Valkyrie and old Consulate was the most
I loved
broken
it,
thing.
dude. It was so much fun.
There was this really good meme we had on Twitter with like the most lethal Valcam ever. Like this video of a lineup or whatever. It's, I don't know.
Yeah. The lineups on Consulate were so good.
Nowadays, with the Valk nerf, you can still throw them outside. They last for 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, I'm still doing that. Don't you worry about it.
Oh, you're still... Oh, you're crazy.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
Phone called out. Guman in the toe. Gotta take that out first. DC and a quick intro right now. Trying to set the pace and the tone of this round. Run.
I like that from Falcons. They've put some pressure on. They've shot a number of drones. Half remaining now for DZ, and then they've fallen back. We know how much DZ love flicking their drones in the mid-round as well. At the moment, it's all gun up. But Falcons have that solace available to try and look for flank opportunities, figure out where these drones are and aren't being held. At the moment, DZ starved for information, though.
Yeah, they were so quick to be in the building, and now it's kind of stalled things out. Second call comes through, but they're all standing next to each other, so I don't think they hear this calls going off. Maybe they did. 3-5 towards the yellow staircase. There's a shotgun player of J-Lat waiting right around the corner. If he goes undroned and you swing that, you will probably die.
Tempted to go for a swing here. It's so unnecessary, though, from J-Lad. Don't lose your life.
Yeah.
The 5v5. Keep forcing the issue here, especially with that C4 in pocket. The only one remaining for Falcons. Force DZ to keep whittling down this timer. Minute left. Just less than. J-Lad almost loses his life to the vertical from Nafe. But the onus is now on DZ to form up some kind of a plan opportunity.
Yeah. They have Solus and Garage right now. I can see what the plan is going down. If you plan on a vertical area of the floor, I can shut it down to the shotgun. Behind the piano, though, inside the bomb site is a safe area from Solus. No work can be done in that position.
They've lost their last C4 too.
Exactly, good point, actually. So if Nave can get in, he can go for a plan, but there's no smoke grenades, there's no shield operator. If any of these angles being held, it's going to be very difficult. Oh,
Flash to go out. There's the long angle from guards. J-Lad finally finished off by Kobe, but it might not be enough here for DZ. They haven't got themselves in the building. That diffuser still on the ground where Nafe did lie. Kobe's got it back, and he's snuck on through for a plant opportunity. Hashom, though, if he's still below, he could have denied it, but he's gone back up again. He's not got the angle. It's a 2v2 now in the post-plant. Kobe, having finished off that diffuser, looks to reposition as Bolo is upstairs with the vertical opportunity. Falcons now have to figure out a way to get this disabled. Robbie is forcing the issue. Has Bolo got the time? He doesn't! And the clutch is too easy! Falcons are firing up! Robbie's just clutched it for them.
They had it. That was DarkZero's round. The bomb goes down. They have Bolo up above. They must have miscommunicated where exactly Kobe planted because Bolo looked a bit starstruck, like, what am I supposed to be watching right now?
That is a tilter.
It is, and also because a good 10-15 seconds between the bomb going down and Falcons closing in happened. And during those like important seconds, you gotta think to yourself, what am I gonna do in these specific scenarios? If I get flanked, do I kill the planter or do I just kill the flanker? Where's the bomb planted? How do I cover it? Neither attacker was in the spot to do anything about that defuse.
Was so well played from Falcons, though, as well. Like, Robbie, once he realized he had this position, it was up to, I can't remember who the last player was, I believe Hashom, to just sprint upstairs. All he had to do was force a gunfight. Doesn't matter if he dies. He's done his due diligence. He's distracted Bolo. Now we're back at an even scoreline. Falcons, it seems like their confidence in their defense was well-founded. Doesn't matter if we go down 5-1. That's what we think they said in the break. And they've made that clear already. We're back even again. DZ have some nice ideas on these attacks, but they can't quite get it over the line.
I still just want to rewind that round and say, why doesn't Nave drop the piano hatch into sight? There was no rotate on the wall. They hadn't opened up anything. Like, it felt so safe to me, but maybe I missed something. After Nave died, that's how Kobe got in. And he got down safe. He sprinted through pretty safe and got the bomb down himself. Small errors. For Nave, for DarkZero as a team. Falcons, they punish it. And I think if you're DarkZero, don't feel too bad about this. Don't change anything major. Like, things were and they are working out for you. You just gotta be a bit tighter in those last dire moments.
Hunter's on upstairs from Bolo. Two drones were on to J-Lad's position. The Jackal and the Dokkaebi. But Bolo's now position revealed. J-Lad does go down eventually. Good start from DZ.
Important frag, of course, with this Valkyrie and Echo both in play. J-Lad becomes a sixth player, just watching all those different cameras. And DarkZero, they have Kobe in the IQ. Scanner active right now, looking for that intel. And he's gonna have to spend at least half of this round just looking for those cameras, because if Yokai or Valcams go undetected, it can really start swinging his round back in Falcon's favor.
We saw both the Valkyrie and the Echo banned on a previous map. Now both here in full force. Kobe forced to use that gadget. Nafe as well perhaps is going to be able to hack the cameras. I don't believe he's done so as of yet. And somehow Hashom does find NJR. Didn't manage to see where that went down as he sneaks back from lobby down into the basement in server. Kobe trying to pepper some bullets also Robbie's way, but no exchange as of yet. Robbie just waiting. Is someone going to go meet him?
This is crazy. The Echo iron-sighted shotgun on Spiral Stairs and Consulate. 4:40 minutes to go. If anyone goes there, easy kill. But what does Robbie do if nobody meets him there? Drone comes out. Oh, the
so
timing.
Suspicious of his position. I think they know. There he is.
Something to do.
Spotted.
You don't want to fight that, Bolo. I know you're a great player, but that's not a fight that you want to take, my friend, against that shotgun. But you might have to.
Flashes. Now sneaking back into sight. Pamba's found Hashom. On for the backstab. The flashes start to come down.
I told you.
But Robbie wins it anyway. Looking for a second one. He trades. But DZ snuck into the side and finished him off. Let's go, Nick. Time to get on your bike. DZ are looking solid tonight.
I told you about that shotgun, man. You called flashbangs, I said, hey, the shotgun is nasty. They get it done, though. You gotta admire players who are willing to take the risk, knowing that, hey, this is a really bad idea, but my team needs me to do this, success or not.
The second kill got the trade. That was all they needed.
Yeah.
And if anything as well, just distracting that Echo to get off of his drones certainly is of value. DZ, the closest they have been so far from finishing this game off, just 2 rounds away.
Yeah.
They made a comeback happen against BDS. They failed to have that comeback against Raza. DZ, they've been fighting tooth and nail in every bloody SI match they've played so far. They've gone to the distance, all 3 maps for all of their matches so far. And this is their second last game here in the group stage, looking to guarantee themselves a spot in the playoffs, ideally in that upper bracket.
EC came out the same streak of similar kill tallies. 8 on Top Gunner in GR, 4 on Bolo by the bottom. And no massive outliers. Robbie is actually awake for once. Sitting on those 12 kills and 6 deaths. Finally finding himself in... I was kind of predicting like Robbie on a map like Consulate where he can move around a lot. He's gonna find success. But he's been great so far. And we see DarkZero pick up the Jackal previous round. And ultimately pretty quickly trying to shut him down, find the roamers, etc. Again, I think this really comes down to open and kill engagements. Find that first pick, slow the game down a bit. Opponents is gonna make a couple of mistakes. That's all you need. So if DC gets it, they can just slow things down in drone. Falcons gets it, they can fall back, close towards that bomb side.
He's spotted by the Grimm's Bees. He's been hot on this map. 12 kills. Only 6 deaths. Back into his peak form. MJR's in the building, waiting for a C4 to sail on over. The Lion roars, and Falcons continue to retreat back towards that bomb site.
Ooh. Imagine, right?
Is there information here? Do they know that Hasham is still roaming down below? Because he's about to meet several players. If he makes his way up towards Tellers...
Risky. You got risk assessment, right? Does he have the balls to go for this? You're down 4-5. You make a mistake in die right now. Your team might be staring down that match point on the 3rd map. You don't want that to happen.
Nafe is flicking drones, but I don't think there's one in Visa. There's definitely a chance here for Hasham to go for this flank, but it's a lot of legwork to get there. Hasham does find it. Nafe goes down, and now all he can do is watch cameras for the rest of his team. Hunted now by Bolo. Hasham holds on for as long as he possibly can. But DZ, they've got to focus up their attention on the site. Meanwhile, look at Dove.
I like this so much. They
He's doubled down.
Got a second flanker trying to assist Hasham, and DC are looking to fight, challenge it. Maybe, maybe not. This is definitely favoring Falcons.
Diffuser's still down. Nate's had it the whole time. It's dead at the bottom of Visa's stairs. And look, Kobe's got to go for a huge run around to go and get it. Bolo wins his fight against Hasham, but Dove is still alive and keeping that diffuser from being recollected. Kobe finally gets it. The time is delayed, and there's still a player here in the hallway. Robbie goes down. And DZ have come to life. Another shot required. Guards eventually dispatched with. Bolo's firing all up to J-Lad, and they know exactly where it is. Shotty comes out. Kobe doesn't let it happen. Match point for DZ.
Let's go, Nick. Come on, baby. Let's fucking beat these.
And Jared, a massive slap to the mouse pad on the desk saying, oh man, so close. Every single round, so many times, over and over again and again. Going back to border, there were 4 separate 2v2 or 1v1 encounters, and so many of these rounds on Consulate could play out to either side. The flank was good. Falcons rotating so effectively around it, but in the end, it was DC really firing their guns from every single player. Nobody failed to show up in that round.
Falcons, for the first time, are staring down. Match point for DZ. On their defensive side, they looked solid for the first 2 rounds. But since then, there's been nothing. A nice flank here or there, but DZ always having an answer, having a response. Now 2 match points for DarkZero. The winner of this game jumps up on the standings, potentially to 1st place. Falcons don't want to be left in the dust. They're looking for that upper bracket run in the playoffs.
think we're seeing some of the most solid play in this best of 3 so far, and I don't know if Solo's been massively impactful, but it has that potential, that factor of, I know where you're planting, I can go for a safer flank. Thing is, DC, they've been getting flanked a couple of times now, even that previous round. They should be ready for it, expecting it, perhaps even. Perhaps it could be a bit of a cheese play. If anybody drones outside the soft blow, you can shotgun it open, go for a swing. So the shotgun to be found. But it's Bolo. With the trusted IQ scanner, saying Valcam here, Valcam there. Yeah, with a C4 lineup, waiting for a sound cue to be heard. This is again, neither team wants to surrender an early death. You know how pivotal this opening can be. Kill that drone, fall back a bit further. Is JLat. Kobe droning downstairs. DC getting that drone network going. Only 4 dead, 6 left alive on the map to be found right now. Air jabs and pocket of NGR. They are playing a safe and sound round.
But on this entry upstairs, bearing 9 in hand. A lot of ground just given away for free by Falcons. Are they really just going to go for flanks? Is that their way of trying to contest map control? Because there's nothing early in the round. DZ might have used half their drones, but they've been barely pressed in taking this map. Just a minute and a half.
It's just about not getting caught with your pants down if you're DarkZero. No surprises, no guys hiding in corners, no backstab flanks, nothing like that. It's soft destruction, it's hard destruction, it's map control. Deny those Val cameras. They grenade the Val cam instead of walking in and risking it death. It doesn't get it. Okay. But they're fearing a pre-play, or not a pre-play, if C4 that could kill them, take them down. There we go, they finally got it down. 60 seconds though. Plenty of time, and again, the IQ of Bolo finding so much value in the intel game. You see that soft wall by bottom yellow staircase with a hole in it, so that hedge drop might be impossible. This could be DC having the same problems as previously. If they can't get the diffuser safely into the bomb side, where is the plan going to be going down? Nave jumping outside. Gotta go piano closet window for an entry. But again, where's the coverage? Will he be found out? Will he make his way into the bomb side?
Still no picks, 36 seconds, and there's 10 alive in the server. Falcons
he's in.
Not forcing the issue. Plant going down on a safe spot.
It's so
Does
free.
Guards have information?
No.
He could see for it, but there's no info. It's going to have to be a retake now. Jayla jumping outside, but he's been caught out. DZ are on the verge of a win. 4v3 now, all they got to do is hold their positions. But Robbie, you can't count him out until the game is done. But a way out may well be over. The GG is called. Kings of the comeback. That is the face of True Grit. Never count them out. DZ, they overcome and they overrule Falcons.
And in a classic DC fashion, yeah, they got the end, sure, they got to win the end, but they had a max overtime victory, of course, to get us that third map where they take things into their own hands. Falcons, I will say, they impressed. They showed up more than I expected from them, but they still got a bit of ways to go, especially in these long, dragged-out series where they start losing their pocket strats and they don't have that strategic depth to reach into.
It certainly looked like Falcons were flying in the first map. A monumental comeback from DZ to have the grit to keep pushing after 6 match points against them. They stand victorious. A massive game from DZ. Falcons got a lot to think about. They got 2 more matches to come. DZ just 1 left. And we'll break that down after the break.